Hello, chat. How's it going? Hopefully well. We're back, and we're continuing Armored Core, but today is particularly exciting because I'm near the end of Silent Line, unless I missed something, which I might, because there's so much shit in this game. But we're near the end of it, so we should finish it up, in my opinion, probably pretty quickly at that, and then move on to Nexus, which is also the start of generation 3.5 of Armored Core, which is a very weird generation, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Anyway, hello Kyo, Dream Master James, Jess, Joshua, whoever else with a name that starts with J who might be lurking. Hello. Let me get the game going. And you're right, we play RuneScape music, we do not play RuneScape. Someday. Someday. There are schemes to be had, but maybe today is not the day for schemes. Oh shit. I'm reaching. Okay. For working joysticks, that will be nice, because I've been playing without what's it called? Without true analog patches. So actually, what I remember happening when I played Nexus and like Ninebreaker and stuff for the review series was by the time that I got there and I was able to use them, I was so adjusted to like using the, oh, stream looks all wacky. Oh, stream is all wacky. Why? Why has this been happening so much? Hold on. Things are gonna get a little weird while I try to fix it. Give me a second. Did it work? Seems like it actually worked. It did. It totally, okay. It's on this end this time. That's the worst part, is that it breaks on one end or the other. I never know which computer needs the reset. Anyway. But yeah, joysticks. When I got to Gen 3.5 for the review series, I was so used to this control scheme that they ended up like hurting me more than helping me. At least while I was playing Nexus. By the end of that, I was pretty used to it. But I remember it being so weird that I had adjusted over months of playing Armored Core this way to not using them. You have two PCs? I use the laptop to encode all the video, yeah. I use my old work laptop that I got to keep. Thanks, undisclosed company. Found a really powerful build in AC6. Dual Sampu and Laser Slicer. That sounds pretty solid. I've definitely come up against stagger and then boom, 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 boom. You just get hit a million times by the big spinny blade. I think EX Arena is all we have left. But I don't know, because Silent Line is huge, so the odds that I missed something is possible. Go for the reverse joint guy, the lighter one. Things have been good. I'll talk about the Microsoft thing in a second, because the Microsoft thing is really interesting. It's also getting a little exaggerated, but give me a minute. So I love my homebrewed PS3. So easy to play PS2 and 3 games natively. Didn't the original PS3 do that? Correct me if I'm wrong. I know that one of the PS3s did it. I think it was that like the actual launch edition, like the very first version that came out was the one that could just like natively run PS2 games. Am I wrong? I think it was the actual launch version, and then later versions weren't able to for some reason. Why does this heat machine gun feel kind of shit? Is it shit and no one told me? Was I led on to believe that this thing was great when it really wasn't? I mean, it doesn't feel awful. It was the OG one. Okay, I thought so. The fat 60 gigabyte US models could. Man, remember how little storage like the PS3 and the 360 had? I mean, I guess consoles have had like a very tiny amount of storage historically. But didn't the Xbox 360 have like 8 gigabytes on it? And wasn't the average size of a game during that generation like 5 gigabytes? Want the 800, you say? I thought the Heat one would be a lot better. Are we? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Hold on. Hold on. Can be purchased from the shop. Oh my god, have I just never bought it? Okay, for a second I was like, uh-oh. I found something I missed, but no, I'm not even close to having bought everything from the shop, so that would be. Welcome back. I did not know that stream had dropped until Jess dropped the emote. I don't know how much was heard or was not heard. I'm just gonna act like all of it was heard and you know exactly what I said and we're gonna move on like nothing happened. The silver one is the target. Only a few seconds, maybe 10. We can deal with that. Hello, Yan. It is going well, I think. Assuming I'm not missing stuff and extra arena is like the last bit, we've just got like these 10 arena matches to go. I'm assuming that we've missed something beyond just like EX arena. That's not who I'm after. Where's the other one? There's the other one. There's definitely gonna be something that I didn't get. My thoughts, but we'll figure that out when we need to. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Stay away. But yeah, the Microsoft third-party thing is interesting. It got a little blown out of proportion. And I kind of ran with it before I got fact-checked on it. But Microsoft is considering putting like their, I guess the best way to put it is like their non-essential exclusives on other platforms. So like in my mind, the number one thing that we know is that at least currently, like Halo is not planned to go to PlayStation. That's like the one that we know for certain. They're just not planning on putting that over to other systems. I would have to assume that Forza is in the same boat, where they probably don't plan to put that over either. Man, 92% is kind of scary. I feel like we're missing a bit. We'll just keep her going and see. But in terms of other like Microsoft titles that could be going to like PlayStation and potentially even like the Switch and stuff in more long term, like Gears of War could be making the jump. Good for Gears, at least, like as a franchise. I'm not even looking at like the Xbox ecosystem, but in terms of like Gears of War as a franchise, I feel like it's kind of been forgotten about like since Gears 4 came out. And yeah, like Gears 5 came out and Gears Tactics even came out, but like most people didn't really talk about either of them. Like I feel like Gears had a super hard fall off after the 4th game. So also if we were to get extra tinfoil hat about it, right? I talked about it a lot way back, but there were very strong, like very well-sourced leaks, like over a year ago now, that Microsoft had like a completed Gears of War collection, similar to like the Master Chief collection and what that is for Halo, that they were just sitting on and kind of like waiting for a rainy day or like a good time to release it, to kind of like revive the franchise, so to speak. So if we're getting real tinfoil hat about it, that sort of collection could maybe be going to like PlayStation as it launches. You know, it might have parity across Xbox and PlayStation. And I think that would be huge. If it was just like the original trilogy, even just the first 3 games, because those are good games. They're not like high art or they're not like masterpieces, right? But they're damn fun. Like it's just the biggest, burliest, manliest men running around shooting at like these weird bug guys, and they've got chainsaws on the front of their guns. And there's really good like set pieces and level design in Gears, actually. Like that's kind of the highlight. Now they're great for co-op. Like the campaigns are kind of made with 2-player co-op in mind, and they're great for it. I think it would actually be a really good launch to like put over to other systems. Thank you for the upgrade to contributor, DS. I have no idea why you might have upgraded. No clue. I mean, I've said it before, the $1 tier kind of is just like the, you know, get the badge and the emotes tier at this point. I mean, that's kind of what it was meant to be to begin with. I say at this point. Oh, Jess, did it fade away? It looks like it did. Maybe. But did you see it by chance? I'm watching it. My preview is super behind. Oh, it faded away. They look the same. They're twins. I'll just use the health bars. Because aside from the paint, which even then, while I'm boosting and schmoving around, I'm going to have a hard time. We'll use the health bars. What do you think caused people to think it was Microsoft going the way of Sega? To be clear, I'm not saying it's not Microsoft going the way of Sega. At least, like, it's not right now. But it's maybe step 1 of Microsoft going the way of Sega. Because I've talked about a lot, like, Microsoft's #1 thing with, like, their current business plan for Xbox is that they view it as more of, like, a service than a system at this point. Like, the Xbox ecosystem is what is important to Microsoft now, rather than the Xbox console. Which I don't think is a bad thing. And honestly, I want the Xbox console to stay around, almost just to keep Sony in check. Because Sony already is doing some kind of shitty stuff just because they feel like they can get away with it, which they can. It's not they feel like they can, because they can. Imagine if they didn't have that direct competitor. Because as it is, like, they've already beaten Xbox. No one argues otherwise in terms of, like, sales or reception or anything. But imagine if that competitor didn't even exist. Like, they're already ahead of them. but it could be a lot worse. Wasn't sure if you've had that one yet. I don't think we have. It's rare because it's not just for the channel, Jess. It's like, it has to be your first time ever super chatting on YouTube, which is why we never see it. Like, we do, but it's rare. Also, hello, Maker. I am ranting and rambling and raving. The gaming division profit margins are far below the rest of the business. Microsoft Gaming can make more money outside of Xbox. I think Xbox is what is, or I could be wrong. I think Xbox is kind of just the umbrella term now for their whole gaming division, unless I'm mistaken. Like, I feel like they just refer to their gaming branch as Xbox, generally speaking. At least they do publicly, like when they talk about it. Sony will 100% be worse when they're the only adult console. Yeah. It'll only get worse. So I want Xbox around purely for that, honestly. Because the thing is, like, if Microsoft became more of just like a publisher and like a service in terms of games, and they did away with the physical console, I wouldn't mind. I'm also not an Xbox guy. I recognize that a lot of Xbox people are upset about it, or at least by the idea of it. Because, and it sounds kind of silly at first. It sounded silly to me at first, but then I kind of thought about it a little more, like beyond just surface level, right? And the thing is, like, if you are an Xbox gamer, say it's like the majority of consumers where you only buy one console to game on, right? And so a lot of people who bought an Xbox because maybe they wanted like Halo or Forza or whatever they bought it for, Starfield, God help you. Whatever it was, you bought Xbox, and because you bought Xbox for that game, you lost out on all the PlayStation stuff that you might have also wanted to play, but you like made that sacrifice, so to speak, so that you could play the stuff that you wanted to play a little more. So the initial like reception to this kind of being like, oh, Xbox as a console might not exist for much longer. It's reasonable for people who bought an Xbox to be pissed, because for the last few years, assumedly, they've skipped out on all of those titles because of their brand loyalty to Xbox. And now it's like, okay, well, you might just kind of have to migrate over to PlayStation anyway, and you'll have everything then. And people who were never on Xbox might just have everything anyway. It's kind of reasonable to be upset. PS5 Pro is coming. We actually, it's kind of weird. We don't really know. Like, we've got some stuff, but we really don't know a whole lot about it. I would say it's definitely coming at some point, obviously, but I don't think it's coming as soon as like the new Xbox is, which, by the way, we actually do have a really solid, like, well-sourced leak for the new Xbox. Your boy may or may not have seen it, like what the new Xbox model looks like. It's not a whole new console, right? It's an upgrade for the series systems. It might be diskless. And not like, you know, there's an option for diskless and an option for with a disk drive. No, like they're allegedly, maybe, potentially, lawyers going entirely diskless in the future. Like starting potentially, allegedly, late this year. So that's a thing. Game audio is loud? Man, how does the game audio get so unbalanced all the time? How, like, I play the same shit. What happened to cause Sega to go third party? Their systems just did not sell anymore. Because to be fair, they were just being destroyed in terms of like sales and stuff. will benefit PC gaming, at least to some degree. Why? I'm not saying you're wrong, but why do you think that? Isn't PlayStation going the same way? Diskless? Or do you mean like putting your stuff to other systems? Because PlayStation is going towards releasing their games with parity on PC, although they're taking their sweet ass time, right? But they're working on it. Kind of. Totally not a jaded PC gamer talking about this right now. But they're not going towards like releasing their games on Xbox. What Microsoft is kind of bouncing around the idea of is like releasing stuff like Gears of War and maybe Forza, maybe Starfield onto PlayStation, like onto the direct competitor. You can just say you're a Bloodborne fan. Bro, not even that. Like, God of War. Where is it? It's been a year and a half. Spider-Man 2. It's been a good few months. Where is it? You know, these guys are talking up a big game about like, yep, we're looking to have full release parity with PC in the coming years. I mean, you're being pretty slow about it, but I'll hold out some hope, maybe. Must certainly go to PC because Microsoft owns Windows. It's already like that. Xbox and PC already have release parity. Since like, oh man, when did they start? I'm trying to think. It was a few years ago. I want to say since like 2019 or something, they've had full like release parity. This guy is just running, and I'm taking a lot of damage from his buddy. All right, we lost one. The quality of the ports. Daddy of War's not a good port. Oh man. Like that one at the time, it was like, oh, this is kind of a shitty port. But don't even get me started on like, after that, we got like that Uncharted 4 port that was really bad. Like just game breaking bugs everywhere on day one. And then, you know, not to pile on Naughty Dog here, but absolutely to pile on Naughty Dog here. I mean, I don't even have to tell anyone how the Last of Us Part 1 PC port turned out. And not just how it turned out, like, on release day. The state that port is still in if you go and play it today on PC. It's still not fixed. For anyone who's out of the loop, the Last of Us Part 1 port has not been ironed out yet. It's better, but, you know, it's like saying poop is better than shit. It doesn't mean a whole lot. We'll see. Like, I'm hopeful for PlayStation release parity on PC, but it's definitely... Ooh, the Final Fantasy Remake is a really bad port, too. I forgot about that, because I haven't played it personally. But a friend of mine streamed through the entirety of Final Fantasy VII Remake's port, and she has a good PC. Not a amazing one, not like, you know, top of the line, but a good PC. And she had crazy stuttering and hitching, and she crashed constantly, like the whole way through. She had a ton of crashes and stuff. Just a really, really messy port there, too. The Spider-Man ports are really good, to be fair to Sony on that one. But that's more because, like, the thing with the Sony ports is they're having, like, various studios that they own who aren't working on, like, full productions do the ports, as well as they're having the main studio who developed the game originally help out with the port. And a lot of the quality of the port just comes down to how well the original studio is supporting the other port studio, as well as like the timeline that Sony gives them and all that. But Insomniac so far has put out 2 PC ports. They're both great. Like, they came out on day 1, they were good. Do Sony ports even get fixed? To be fair, the Uncharted port might be better now. I haven't gone back to look because it's like 130 gigs to install it. The Last of Us was such a dumpster fire that I have gone back on occasion to check in on it. And as of like 2 months ago, it's still not working. And I haven't like heard anything to make me think that it's working as of the last 2 months, because that is a solid amount of time, but like, I haven't heard anyone mention that the port got like any major patches and it's running a lot better or anything. So as far as I know, it's still a dumpster fire. Last I checked and last I heard. So, yeah. Sorry, I missed the thing about the walled garden model of Sony and Nintendo being at least preferable to mobile gaming, which, you know, for me, being in the side of the industry that I am, there is so much that I sit here and bitch about and complain about all the time. But it's true that at least I'm not into the mobile gaming side. And I just burned at least like 5 bridges by saying that, but that's fine. That's fine. Shit show of lies. Lies and gotcha. Gotcha is also becoming more and more of a thing in home console and PC gaming, which is unfortunate, but we're not to the point of it being really bad yet. At the very least, this is a wild. Maybe this is like genuinely a fight where I should not have taken them to the garage. Is this the rare fight that gets harder indoors? Oh my god. Because like I'm just bumping into every obstacle around me while trying to hit chain gun damage and get this done with quickly. This is a shit show. Oh my god. Won't put up with gotcha in the West. I wish that was true. But so far, it's not looking great. Game is still so loud. Is it loud, chat? Like, is it just melty, or is the game still loud? The game is so loud. Why is he the only one telling me? Why is the game so loud? Oh my god. Chat. It's not the emulator volume. It's a bit loud. Oh, now, thank you, everyone. Thank you. I'm glad that you all let me know. We can actually probably... Let me know about this. My mouse cursor's on the screen. Ignore it. You don't see anything. You don't see anything. Oh my god, I'm getting my ass kicked. Wait a second, I've been shooting the wrong one the entire time. Laughs in Genshin earnings? Yeah, I was about to say, like, Genshin and, what's the other one? Honkai are just making so much money. Let's go down to 55 again. So that looked a little loud. I think it's too quiet. Terrence, hopefully I'm reading that right. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Ooh. Which one are you? Okay, you are the actual target. Holy shit. Holy. I'm gonna die. Ah! Okay. Okay. Would that the other game try and be that? Hopefully. It's so weird to me that that they've gotten so successful in the West after like the entire Western gaming community like rallying against loot boxes years back, right? You know, in the dark ages of like 2017 to 2021, when everyone was really like, yeah, this kind of sucks, actually. Like, we don't really want this. And we got rid of it. Like, it's not really a common trend anymore because we made such a stink about it. And everyone started to just refuse to engage with it. But then, like, Genshin and Honkai come around and it's like, oh, but waifus. But hot anime women, though. Maybe it's okay this time. Maybe just put the credit card in this one time. Just this one. How's the volume now? It looks a lot better now. There was a severe audio balancing problem that was a leftover from yesterday's stream when we were jamming out to Resident Evil DualShock Edition basement theme. And if you missed it, I'm not joking. It's exactly what was happening, and that's why the volume was so loud. Oh my god, I'm going to die again. Skill issue! Look at the health. Look at the health. The fart music? Exactly. That song. That exact track. It's the fart music. Someone yesterday, when I was talking about how I've been S-ranking the Devil May Cry games, and then I was like, I also just kind of want to start another stream series, even though everyone already thinks that I have too much going on. I've got a hankering for more variety for no reason. And someone was like, you always say that you love Resident Evil. You should do S+ ratings on all the Resident Evil games. And I was like, do not tempt me. You have put this idea in my mind. You cannot. By the way, speaking of more variety, on Sunday, normal stream time, regulars, we're doing Tekken, and I'm doing an open lobby on Tekken. And if we have enough people in said open lobby, I'm gonna activate the tournament mode. Instead of just like the one-on-ones, we'll do full-on tournaments for it with chat. Should be a good time. What happens if you do more than 7 series? It just becomes more and more of a shit show progressively. It's already at the point where like every stream series only gets like 1 stream a week. It just progressively becomes more of a shit show. Streamer playing with the peasants. What time? Stream time? Usual time? I need to be ready. I'm still scrubby as ever, so I'm not the threat that you might be worried about. But surely, someone in chat who might just happen to appear, like there's just gonna be someone random who is godlike at Tekken 8 for no reason. For absolutely no reason. Thousands of KMs? KM? Question mark? What do you mean KM? The world will see the fraud I am. I play a scrubby Jin or Kazuya, depending on my mood. I think you'll be fine. Oh, kilometers. I think we'll actually have a good amount of people from Europe knowing this chat. It might not be so bad. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how that will work, like, with the open lobby in terms of connection, because, like, is it just going to be your connection to the other player? Or is the connection of, like, the entire bracket going to be off of your connection to me? That's kind of the question. Although I have to say, I played a match like last week where I had like 110 milliseconds of ping, but we were both on Ethernet. We were both on wired connection, and it actually felt good. Didn't feel like amazing or like butter or anything, but it felt good. Like 100 milliseconds of ping in a fighting game is really bad. But the netcode seemed to handle it pretty well, actually. Could never be Armored Core 6, but it was way smoother than I thought. When I got into it and I saw the ping, I was like, oh, good lord above. It's over. But it was fine. It was fine. Can't have YouTube and play Tekken 8. Whatever you have to do. All right, 2 more extra arena fights. Don't know where all this percentage that I'm missing is coming from, but hopefully it'll just, you know, jump to 100 as soon as I finish extra arena, and we'll never have to figure out where it's coming from, right? Because that's absolutely gonna happen. We all know it. Watch it be some shit like actually needing all S ranks, or I'm trying to think what else would just be ridiculous to find out like right at the end. Oh, needing to buy all the parts from the shop from the mission requirements. I did all of them. At least I think. There's no way that I'm missing enough to make up 8% from that alone. And also double checking it is going to be a bitch. With the amount of parts in this game and the amount of missions to look through and all that. Because that was like the big grind for Silent Line, right? Was the hidden part, like mission requirement stuff. So if I'm missing enough, there's a part for all S ranks. There is, but it's only in the portable edition. So we're good. Not sure if it's half the world with not that good of a connection fixing magic. Who knows? Maybe. You could feel the lag. Tekken 7 was bad online too. Tekken 7 had some really bad connection stuff going on. For like its entire life. It never got worked out. Oh. We're making progress on the back units. Hold on. We're getting somewhere. In terms of my arbitrary, like, get all the parts goal. Which I don't think I'm going to get for Silent Line. I don't know if I'm going to be able to manage all of them. By the end, and I carried the file over from AC3. Like with all the parts and credits I got from that game. All right, Mobius is the green one. What can I get? I can't remember what the prices are now. The most expensive is $350. Son of a bitch. Speaking of. All right, caveman mode it is. Don't, Chole. Ay, ay, ay. Bitches are lucky that Chole's sunglasses are prescription. Because otherwise, Chole would not. Because Chole doesn't want migraines. You. You are the target. Hopefully, Chole can just sustain that damage. Or sustain, live through. What word is Chole looking for? Oh. It's getting a little boosty. A little boosty with it. Oh, this gank fight is bad. That's brutal. Hasn't updated the prices. Oh, whoops. Chole forgot about that. Ooh, an ad break. An ad break is great. This is one of Chole's favorite commands. I hope, or shit. Chole hopes that some of you have premium. Evil. Hey, some people take a lot of pleasure in the ad break command, certainly. They're a special kind of person, but some people do really enjoy knowing that they have just played a YouTube ad for numerous people in chat. Some get a big kick out of it, you know? Damn. It's not looking great for Chulewig. Ooh, it was close though. I have premium, sadly. What do you mean, sadly? Where's my ad? YouTube, with their system, they aren't going to play an ad for every user every time. If you've gotten one recently enough, because Chole hit the ad button, for the record. Chole did press it. But if you've gotten an ad recently enough, because of like retention metrics and stuff, YouTube might not play an ad for you. Because they're trying to find that perfect middle ground where they can play as many ads for you as possible, but also not drive you to just close the app and leave, because then they make no money if you're not on YouTube. So the system is set up to like measure when you should or shouldn't get one. And if you shouldn't, then even if Chole hits the ad button, then on your end, you might just not get one. I got an ad, beautiful. Also, that was a very close one. A very close one. If Chole gets hydrated like 20 times, Chole actually missed the hydrate. This is the second to last can of the green tea energy drink. Thank God. Progress is being made. You fought well, Raven. I did not think you possessed such skill. Please accept this gift as a token of my respect. AC radiator part. RGI KD AI. Is it a good radiator? Hold on. Late game radiator. Chole went the wrong way. This one. That's a good radiator. Kinda heavy, but Chole can carry it. Good radiator. Not that radiators are like that big of a deal in Silent Line, but hey. Oh. Congratulations on your domination of the extra arena. We've prepared a reward in recognition of this accomplishment. Please check your garage to receive the CWM HA48 back part. What was that? CWM HA40? Chole is curious. For clearing the entire back arena. Or back arena? Extra arena. Thank God. No caveman. CWM. CWM. Is it? It's a missile. HA-48. High mobility missile. Is it good? Is it better than the chain gun? Just tell it to me straight. Is it better than the chain gun? There was another hydrate. Shit. Is it good? Worth replacing the chain gun with? Because why not 2 chain guns? The dual chain gun back weapon, at least I think I messed with it and I thought it was worse. They're like qualms on here? Wait. You mean like tracking wise they're like qualms? So are you saying that they have like insane tracking and they have good ammo? So just more ammo? Oh, too heavy. Plus, I almost never need a second one. Like, just the one does the job almost every time. Okay, I'll try it. Because I think we're going to have at least something. 93? What? 93? Jesus Christmas. Hold on. Before going any further. Oops. Back unit. Buy these up. We got that big payday from the extra arena. Buy everything. Almost everything. Okay. So extra arena is cleared, right? Nothing there. Arena is cleared. Nothing here. It can only be in the missions. Which is very yikes. But let's pull up the list. And let's just see what we're missing. Let's just see what we're missing. All right. Welcome to the shit show, everybody. We're here. 7% missing. Where it turns out you need to S rank them all. There's no way. Hold on. We would have known by now. Wow, I searched up 100% guide. Hold on. Google, you aren't doxing me right now. Okay, we're not. Good. Because you guys know how sometimes you'll search something on Google and it will, like right here, it'll be like showing results for, and it will be the town you live in. I had to make sure. Anyway. You search Armored Core Silent Line 100% guide, right? Look at the video section. Boom, boom, boom. It's me, baby, on the Google page, front page of Google. I don't know why it's putting me up there for 100% guide, because that's not what we're doing. But we're up there. At least we're up there. It's a little false advertising, but it's not my fault. So I can't be blamed for what Google serves, okay? I'm just here doing my thing. All right. So 100%. I don't have to get S ranks, right? Game facts? Yeah, I'm on game facts right now. Reading. I beat AC3 103%. That makes no sense. Makes no sense. Trying to just figure out what 100% entails. Like, just to begin with, making sure it's not S rank. Oh. Oh. Okay, chat. Okay, chat. Listen up. Listen. This random guy on Reddit 5 years ago. Buy all items. This guy says buying everything in the shop. Oh, wait. Admittedly, I'm not sure if buying out the shop is required, but you should still do it just to be safe. Okay, the rest of the Reddit thread didn't really have much. Oh. Chat, remember in AC2 where I had to like do the final mission again to get the credits and then the percentage just randomly jumped? You think it might work? The old 2004 guide says buy all items category by category. Here's what I'm gonna do as a quick check. I'm gonna do the final mission of the game. It'll give me money, and
We've completed our analysis.
it might bump the percentage if that is a thing. Okay, this is the right mission, I think. I just skimmed it really fast. But hello, Silver. Is it really 100% if you don't get max rank on all missions? For this, yes, because max rank is a little arbitrary in old Armored Core, even in new Armored Core. It's not... The system to evaluate what rank you get on a mission completion is not very good. To put it plain and simple. It's kind of just like, how much money did you make? And how fast did you do it? And that's about it. Like, you genuinely make more money from, like, spending less money. It's kind of a weird system. It's not one that, for me at least, makes me want to play for rank. Because it doesn't feel overly skill-based. In Armored Core, it more, to me at least, feels kind of like build-oriented. And just is speedrun beyond that. So it's just like, have the right build and then run the mission a few times to memorize it and you're good. Which, for me, is not as interesting as like the Devil May Cry stuff that we've been doing.
Checking serial number.
DMC has a great rating system where it genuinely evaluates your skill across multiple different categories and averages them out. I think it's a great system.
Confirmed.
Finally, I got my ad. There you go. If I actually have to buy every part, I mean, we can probably just find like an efficient credits grind if that's something we have to do and get it done in a couple hours, maybe. Who knows? That's what I think, at least. It can't be that bad. My chain gun is gone. I replaced it. And I forgot that I replaced it. Oh. Goodbye, Chole. Jimmy Dean? Bro, I forgot about Jimmy Dean. I kind of want one. Now that you've mentioned it, I kind of want to get like a package of Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches. But like, they're kind of shit. And they're really not good for you. But man, whenever someone brings it up, I'm like, you know, Jimmy Dean had good sandwiches when they really didn't. It's just like a nostalgia thing, really. Oh wait, is there one in like all four corners? Oops. But nostalgia is real sometimes, you know? To me, PS1 games look great. Like just the weird, wobbly, warpy look of a PS1 game. I look at that and I'm like, oh, it's beautiful. This is what a video game ought to be.
Establishing connection.
Will be better content than grinding credits. Grinding credits would be faster if that's all I have to do.
Raven.
I guess the only way to really test that theory is like, if I buy some items and it jumps up to 94, then we'll know that that's likely what we're missing. I'm missing enough parts in like the weapon category
Final directive.
that it could make sense if that's it. And that's the rest of the percentage that I'm missing. Because, like, maybe I missed one hidden part, but it's not super likely with how many hidden parts we got and the way that we went through, just literally going through the entire list in order and getting each of them. I mean, I probably missed, like, one, but the idea that I would have missed, like, a bunch is unlikely. So needing to buy a bunch of stuff from the shop, considering how much I don't have currently, makes a lot more sense to me. And then S ranks could be it as well, because I've got a bunch of like A ranks and S ranks just from doing the hidden parts, right? Just from getting those challenges done to get everything. I do pretty much have like all A or S ranks at this point. A couple Bs here and there, but that's it. So that, unfortunately, could also make a lot of sense. Scan complete my ass. Come here. No way I die to this bitch. I've never died to Ibis once in my life, and that's a genuine, true statement. Yeah, today's not going to be the day. Today is not going to be the day. Finding the one you missed will be annoying. Very annoying. That's why I'm hoping that it doesn't come down to that. It'll be like both times, or I say both times, when I 100%ed Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, for each of those games, there was like the named locations at the very end that I had to go and scour the map to figure out like what two named locations out of the entire open world I didn't get close enough to get marked on my map. And that was it. Like, that was my missing half a percentage or whatever in both of those games when I got to the end. Both times, it was just so painful to try to figure out where the last bit was. 100% Breath of the Wild sounds like cancer. It's nothing compared to Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom, I think, took me like 60 or 70 hours more than Breath of the Wild did. I think Breath of the Wild was something like 120 hours. And I think Tears of the Kingdom was like 190 or 200 hours, if I remember right. And it's possible that I don't, but if I do, that's about how long they took. Something in that ballpark, at least. Okay, the percentage did not jump up. But do I have enough to buy stuff? I could buy some stuff. Wasn't there just one really expensive thing here? I can't afford that. There's a couple optional parts. I could start there. These are cheap. I could start with like the cheap right arm weapons. I could buy some of these. There we go. I was like, there's got to be something else I can afford. Maybe one more? Anything under 28,000? No? Nothing? Oh, 15. Did the percentage go up? I bought a handful. No. Should I look through the hidden parts list? I think I should. I think I should. Unfortunately. Hold on, real quick. Here's the game plan, right? To figuring out what I'm missing. First, give me my chain gun back, because those missiles aren't bad, but the DPS on this chain gun just, like, it burns through any high health enemy that I come across, which is massive. S ranking missions, maybe. What I'm gonna do is, like, this first mission, right? I have a B rank on it. So I'm gonna go to the hidden part list. And the hidden part, like the secret challenge one here, is a right arm part. It is the MWG. It's this thing. Okay, so I've got this at the very least. Should I try to get a higher rank on it? Can't hurt, right? At least I don't think it should. I know you are done with Silent Line. It is not done with you. It's clearly not. It's like, no. You have another 7%, bucko. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I did the hidden parts. I did the arena. I did the extra arena. What more do you want from me? And it's just like, you can figure it out.
We'll release the gate locks one by one. Eliminate any opposition.
Can you release that lock?
Area secured. Proceed to B block.
B. If it's S ranks, I'm gonna be so upset too. If it's just buying stuff, fine. Fine. If it's just farming a shit ton of credits, oh my god. I should be using a laser weapon though. Definitely.
Destruction of all targets confirmed. Good work, Raven.
Have you gotten all AC fights? I think I have, because a lot of the missions that have like the optional AC fights have hidden parts tied to them as rewards. So it's unlikely that I'm missing any just like AC kills in missions. That was an A. That was an A. So it's theoretically possible that that my rank could go up here. Or sorry, not my rank, my percentage. It did not. Man, what the hell am I missing? What could it be? Okay, first things first, right? Laser weapon. What's a good laser weapon? Because there's a solid amount of good laser weapons. I could just like default to Kurosawa, of course. But Kurosawa's heavy. This thing is pretty good, actually. I like this one. I forgot that I just recently got it. Maybe I just try that again. to try to S rank it. So you see what I mean, right? Like missions that I don't have S, I normally have A. This mission doesn't pay a whole lot though, so I can test the S ranking and see if that's what we need, but I can't really test the part shop requirement at the same time. Oh man, this thing is gonna burn through this mission too.
We'll release the gate locks one by one. Eliminate any opposition you encounter.
But I should have killed every AC in the game by now.
Area secured. Proceed to B block.
It would be actually shocking if there was one that I missed. We've put so much effort into Silent Line at this point.
Area secured.
Laser weapons should improve the ranks as well, right? Because a lot of it is based on like total profit. It's why like not using consorts nets you higher rank. It's not because, at least to my knowledge, I could be wrong. It's not because the game has it baked in that there's like a bonus for not using them. It's just because you'll get like the total budget for them paid out to you if you decide to not use them. I took more damage this time. I think. Pretty sure I did.
Mission complete. Call back.
It's maybe an S.
Engaged.
This game is a pain in the ass to 100%, isn't it? I mean, I was warned. That was an A rank. That was an A rank. Sorry, for a second I was like, what if I brought the tank? Where is he? This guy. It could work, in theory. Oh, that arm weight might be a problem. Maybe not. We wouldn't be very fast, but we would take a lot less damage. Hold on. If anyone was not around for the tank creation, this guy was made to go through the missions that were like maintain 90% of your AP to get this part, right? How much collateral damage there is? I thought the collateral damage only got factored in on missions where it would get deducted from your pay. At least that was my understanding of it.
System engaged.
Gates linking affected blocks of the facility have been sealed.
This mission map is really tiny, so speed-wise, I'm not
We'll release the
super worried. Oh, and we've got overboost.
Eliminate any
Okay,
opposition you encounter.
we're fine. Still hurts the rating? Are you sure?
Area secured.
That doesn't
Proceed to
sound
B
right.
block.
It could be right. Come here, bitches. And they just blow that shit up. I don't have a whole lot of energy.
Area secured. Proceed to C block.
But I'm certainly not taking damage. It's a strategy for that. What generator do I have in this thing? What goddamn generator is in this thing? I need to go and look because what is happening right now? Yep. I took less than 100 AP damage
Destruction of
that
all
time.
targets confirmed.
It's what it's what the tank was made for, was just not taking any damage. And it really does a good job of that. Crazy high defense, Shield extension, shield arm. I'm pretty sure it's just the money. I'm like, especially seeing this now, it's absolutely just the money. And maybe the time. But even then, that was slower. But the fact that I only got deducted 200 on repairs, I think it genuinely is just the expenses. Maybe time. Maybe. But my theory stands for now. Especially with that. No percentage bump. We've got 30k credits. I can maybe go find something to buy and see if it bumps. We're just gonna do shit until the rank bumps up. I'm gonna be going for S ranks and buying stuff. And as soon as the percentage bumps, like I'm gonna be looking at the percentage after everything I do. As soon as it bumps, I have a goal to target in on. To tunnel vision on. Anything for 30k or less that I can purchase. I'm seeing a lot of like 33, 35. Ooh, 28. No bump. Still at 93. We'll figure it out eventually. I'll keep checking the hidden parts as we go too. For the missions that I'm doing the ranks on. Just to be like 100% safe. This is a right arm weapon. It's the CWG HGB. CWG HGB 80. HGB. Okay, I've got it. You need to buy the whole shop? Maybe? We don't know. We might need all S ranks. We don't know. I'm just gonna be doing S ranks and buying stuff when I can. And closely keeping an eye on what happens percentage-wise after like every little thing I do. And then we'll figure out what happened. Haircut? No. No. No haircut.
Proceed with caution.
It's the glasses. You know the like running joke of when someone looks different and you're like, did you get a haircut? No.
This is in-game.
It's great value for money. Yeah. I can't argue that. I mean, like, Assassin's Creed Valhalla has great value for money, too. You know, sometimes less is more, chat. That's all I'm saying, right? Sometimes just a game that's pleasant to replay in its entirety is more valuable than a game that takes up more time.
Force has been spotted in a neighboring area.
It's true. Will the beard ever return? Like that?
Take them out.
Probably not. Whoa. Did I match you in Rocket League the other night, or did I dream that? I do not play Rocket League, so it sounds like a dream. But hello. I mean, I've played Rocket League, like, with friends. I've got some friends who really enjoy it. And whenever they would manage to talk me into playing it with them, they would regret it. Because whoever's team I was on was not going to win that match. I got passed around. I was the kid that got picked last. They would always regret convincing me to play private matches of Rocket League with them. It never went well for anyone. I was having a blast every time. Because private matches where you're just fucking around, I would have a ton of fun with them doing that. Even though everyone would be pissed if I was on their team because they were just guaranteed a loss. Because I would like own goal and stuff like that, and then just maniacally laugh for a minute straight while just driving upside down on the ceiling for half the match. It was not good for anyone whose team I was on ever. But I was having a good time, and that's what matters. The real wins are the friends we make along the way. There's more?
Okay, dude.
Oh. Is the 100% requirements for Silent Line the same as AC3 Portable? Should be about the same. Silent Line is an expansion for AC. Dude, it's 100% just the payout. I'm telling you, that was so slow. That was so slow. I'm just getting free S ranks because I have a tank that can't take damage, and I'm using a weapon that doesn't cost anything. And it's just handing out S ranks. This is what I'm talking about. When I said that Armored Core's rank system doesn't feel like it's an indicator of like performance as much as just how well do you know the game? Because I just have this build that's going to cheese S ranks for me now. I'm pretty certain it's just the costs at this point. That was not a run that you would watch and think like, oh yeah, that was an S rank. Absolutely. Because it was a mess. I didn't think Rocket League was real. I kept mixing it up in my mind with an RV car racing arcade game from Chuck E. Cheese. What? Dude, remember Chuck E. Cheese? They're still around, right? Because I know that during COVID, they had like issues, as you'd kind of expect for something like Chuck E. Cheese. Is Chuck E. Cheese still open? Oh yeah, the Chuck E. Cheese that I went to growing up is still open even. They close at 10. I could go today. I could go right now. I could go to Chuck E. Cheese. Oh, dude. Maybe. I think it's fine if I go to Chuck E. Cheese, right? Alone? No one would call the authorities, surely. Is the one with the killer robots? Yeah. Saying what counts towards completion? Hold on. A forum post from 13 years ago sounds valid. Okay. I have 99%. Don't know what to do for the 1%. I've beaten the extra arena, found all the parts, fully activated my OP Intensify. S ranks don't count towards completion. You might be missing one of the bonus mission activations. We're at 93% chat, so we're missing something crazy. Make sure you have all the parts and OPI abilities though. This game is glitched so that you can get completion percentage over and over on the same tasks. Keep killing ACs and missions, and this is for the portable version specifically. That's why there's save files on this site with much more than 100%. It also means you can be at 100% and not actually have all the parts and abilities. I don't think that bug exists in the PS2. I don't think they let people over 18 without kids in, or maybe that's just a BS myth. I wonder if that is true. Because you'd think that, like, for safety reasons, that would be a very legit thing. But at the same time, it's entirely true that it's just a myth. Only one way to find out. I'm taking a trip to Chuck E. Cheese. See if they kick me out or not. What do you think they would do if I went with like a group of 20-year-old guys? Surely, I don't know. I feel like if it were me, even if we didn't have a policy, I would have my eyes on that group like so bad. I would just be like, this group cannot be good news. CWG HGB90. I'm just double checking the hidden parts for the missions I'm doing to be 100% certain. And then left arm, MWGG, HML, oh, is it 18? It is 18, it's this thing. Would think you're all stoned as fuck. Yeah, I would just be like, this cannot be good news. Just that this group is even here, this is surely a bad thing. It's like how sometimes, you know, someone will come into chat and you see like their first 2 messages and you immediately are like, okay, I'm just waiting for this person to do something. Because they're going to do sometimes you can just tell. Right? Is Jess Sepper, you guys are still here? Maybe? One of them can maybe vouch and be like, yep. There are people that you just, as soon as they enter, you're like, okay, what's this guy gonna do? I help out False with modding in her chat now too. And so when I'm in there, she especially, because if you don't know False, it's my good friend who happens to be one of those anime women on the internet. And by that, I mean she's a VTuber, right? And really, you know, her chat, a lot of the time, super chill. Sometimes,
Jamming the signal.
people in there, I'm just like, where do you even find these people? Like, how? I think I've said to False before, I'm like, it is crazy that you manage to attract these kinds of people so consistently. Because she really does. I think it's just being a VTuber, genuinely. I think there's definitely like a type of viewer that she gets way more consistently than I do. And it's probably because of the whole anime woman thing. Ow. Ow. Your energy weapons hurt, and I do not have the mobility. That'll do it. It costs me some money. The chain gun isn't cheap, but a man's got to do what a man's got to do. This mission's actually kind of gonna be a bitch to S rank with the tank. It might not even be the best setup to use. Anime girl means hot girl, apparently. I mean, when you can just make your model look exactly how you want to, it typically does, to be fair. I mentioned to False before that there was a time where I fully genuinely, like as someone who doesn't watch VTubers, right? There was a time where I seriously considered looking into getting a model and doing it myself purely because I don't like being on camera every day. I'm way more chill about it now. At this point, I'm just like, yeah, there's so many endless hours of my face out there at this point. It doesn't even make any difference.
You'll pay for that.
I've looked as bad as I can look at this point already. I'm not worried about it. But for a time, I was like, not actually needing to have my face on camera every day would be so nice. I seriously was considering for a while. But then I saw how expensive those models are, and I was out. I was so out, because if you don't know, they're thousands of dollars. Thousands of
Area
dollars.
secure. Good work, Raven.
Like minimum 1,000, realistically.
Objective achieved.
But it can be so much more. It's between like $1,000 to $3,000. It's crazy expensive. Becoming one can be expensive. It's so much. So much. S rank. Sure. I'll take it. This tank is the S rank cheese, dude. I don't even have to do anything. I just sat there and tanked shots while firing back, and like, boom, S rank. I haven't even gone up 1%. I don't think it's S ranks. I've done a handful and I haven't even bumped 1%. It could be S ranks. I'm not definitively saying it's not yet, but I don't feel like it is. I don't have anything that's like screaming out to me that it is S ranks. All right, I bought an item. Hold on. Still nothing. Had an all S rank part too. It's not in, what's it called? It's not in any of the guides. Oh, wait. I've been using a new part list today, and it has a bunch of stuff that I did not see before. Hold on. Give me a minute here. Is this for portable? It doesn't say. Is that? Oh my god, yeah, okay. So this list is from 2003, right? This part list that I'm using. Amazing how old some of this is. Silent Line portable release date was 2009. This is the PS2 version. So you know what, Fervil? You're right. And there's more that is also interesting, okay? There's more that's interesting here. Legs. I knew about these legs, these leg parts. At one point, I forgot about them, but they are in the game. There are a bunch of leg parts that are unlocked through using certain types of leg parts enough. So let me look for these real quick, because this is going to add to the grind. Okay, so there's like a variant of these called the SNS KA1. Aha, okay, so I've got those from using mid-weight legs. I was like, I should have those. There's an extension that you get from completing enough Kisaragi missions. The Keep Elix. Keep Elix. Oh, okay, I've got that too. There's a core piece for, I should have all the mission ones. Yeah, I will have all the missions one. Or mission one. Missions ones. I don't know how to phrase that. Grammar is weird. This generator is just complete enough missions. I'll have that. Go back to the legs. Hold on, we're on to something, chat. We're on to something. These legs are from using lightweights enough. So these I might not have. I've used lightweights. I don't know if I've used them enough for this. A CLL03. Scratch the A. Okay, fully restart, right? CCL. No, I read the wrong one. Restart again. CLL03 A SRVT. Part names are so easy to remember in old gen, it's great. CLL, start there. We're looking for the lightweights. CLL. And then at the end, it's ASRVT. ASRVT. I don't think I have them. These are all heavy legs. I don't have those. I haven't used lightweight weights enough. Each leg type has to be used 10 times. Yup. I've got this boy. Pre-made and everything. Could I maybe throw that energy rifle on? In case I do need to buy all the parts from the shop. I'm not writing that off yet, for the record. So it's still a possibility, and I'm going to treat it as such. Let's massively downscale on the arm blade, and maybe I could fit the armor extension. I can. That's gonna go a long way for just playing with these and trying to S rank. Okay, we need to S rank everything because of course we do. It's official. There is a part that the other guide just completely left out. Huzzah. To be fair, that tank build is cheese fest, right? It makes it not even a worry. How many parts, or sorry, how many missions do I not have S rank on? Let's just evaluate that. That's 1, 2, 3, oh fuck, 4, 5, 6. Not looking great. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 15. Uh-oh. 18. 20. 23. Ouch. Okay, we may not be getting to Nexus today. Call me crazy. Let's see if I can S rank this while I'm trying to use lightweights enough. I've used lightweights a bit.
System setup to monitor the problem is affecting all AI controlled equipment from mobile defense units.
I don't
to
remember
emergency
this.
Strike teams. Fortress NK
Give me pictures.
is the facility proving most difficult to recapture.
Recapture
What we
facility.
require is the expertise that only a Raven can offer. Please head to the
Is this the really long one? The nightmare mission? It might be.
Main system. Engaging
It is.
combat mode.
It is.
The mainframe computer lies
Oh
deep
boy.
within.
Hold on. How should I approach this? How should I approach this? I think, hear me out. New plan. I'm quitting out real quick. I think we do S ranks first before I just start flying through missions for like types. I could just grind out the short missions for those, right? I think first priority is go through with the mega tank and get my easy S ranks. I think that comes first. Another ad break? This is my favorite chat command. Me personally, love this one. All right. I hope you all have premium or you've at least seen an ad recently. Ads inserted. The ads have been inserted.
The mainframe computer lies deep within. You'll cover ground faster if you split up.
I'm not even worried about
The
speed
entire
anymore.
fort is controlled by the computer. Advance
Because
with
I've been
care.
doing missions slowly with this tank and like just I've been clearing them.
Roger.
Plain and simple. Everyone else has to suffer. That's reasonable. Right? It's a reasonable reaction. Isn't it, chat? I think that's a reasonable reaction. Suffer with me and all that. Let me through. Let me through. Let me through. That room kind of hurts. Ooh. Okay, I might have overextended a little bit. This is a great weapon. And it has no ammo cost. This is the best laser rifle in this game. Hear me out, chat. My opinion, it has to be, right? Does anyone even disagree? How could you? It's got 100 rounds. It has great damage. Makes for easy S ranks because, you know, laser weapon costs no ammo. Doesn't burn too much energy to fire. Cannot reload them. Weapons don't need to be reloaded in Armored Core. At least not at this point in Armored Core. We'll get there at one point, but for most of the series, weapons don't need to be reloaded. Laser build on 6? For PvP, you mean, or just in general? Because if we're talking PvE, even PvP, just in AC6 in general, laser weapons are incredibly viable. PvE? Yeah, they're good in PvE.
Energy surge detected. Move fast, Raven.
And they're good in PvP as well. They're not amazing, but they're good. There's actually some laser builds that can be really, really strong on PvP. But generally, they're beaten out by like coral stuff or what's it? Just other
Deploy the
weapons,
controls on the
really.
wall to open the gate.
Transformers again? Do you just say Transformers because I'm on tank tracks?
Copy.
Is that what you mean, Transformers,
I can't advance until you
Ryan?
destroy the controls.
Because yes, we're cheesing the game.
I'm under attack. Hurry!
Laser tank? Laser tank got fixed. That huge ass laser cannon got hit in the patch. Oh, there's another one still? I thought there were 4. There's 6.
Raven.
Things do tend to beat them. Yeah, it's the big downside is that they don't stagger. But
In there.
they have really good damage output. So you can kind of get away with it if you have like proper build synergy. I've talked about like one of my favorite setups in AC6. It's not true laser build by any means, but a really fun one that I recommend is dual wield pulse rifles and then dual wield Haldemans on the SWAT, like the early game shotgun.
The gate should be open.
Because then you fire off a barrage of bubbles. An absolute barrage of bubbles. And whenever the bubbles go on overheat. Oh no. Oh no. We're taking damage. Oh, we're taking damage. Oh, sweet Jesus. You swap to the Haldemans. You fire a shot out of each. And then by the time that you've done that, you swap back and the pulse guns are off of overheat. And once you get in the flow of it, it's just a constant rhythm of bubbles and shotgun blasts. And it's just wonderful. B rank. Yikes. Do you think I'm better off fighting the AC at the end? Potentially. It's kind of hard to say. Because on one hand, I take so much damage. On the other hand, like, I mean, I take so much damage just sitting there. But like, I can finish the mission way quicker doing that. So if I get lucky, I can finish the mission really quickly without taking a ton of damage.
You'll cover ground faster if you split up.
Killing the thing is less luck reliant but at the same time,
The entire
I'm
force
going to
is
take
controlled by the computer.
more
Manage
damage
with care.
consistently.
Roger.
This is gonna be a weird one to S rank, man. This is gonna be a pain in the ass. I hate this mission. Just wholeheartedly, I have no love for it. That works. Little overboost maneuver through there. Works for me. Oh, I can handle this room a lot better than I did last time, too. Don't you dare. Oh, out of energy, son of a bitch. OPI would help a lot with this, but on the other hand, I'm not using OPI so that I can use the defense boosting optional parts. Since that's kind of the whole point, is to just cheese this and spend nothing on repairs and like minimal costs to no costs on ammo for the easier S ranks. The defense parts typically go a lot farther than OPI would in terms of energy. But I could definitely potentially upgrade the generator and get some good mileage out of that. Jesus Christ. Ow. Thought it was my phone going to ultra wideband. Whoa. All right, quick turn, we go. The fastest turn speed you've ever seen in old gen right here.
Energy surge detected. Move fast.
How is it not dead? How is it not dead? Move fast, my ass. That's all she wrote. I forget that whenever I do the screen transitions, I need to put my arm shield back up. I didn't even have it up for that. Okay, there's 6 targets, not 4. I misremembered last time. So for cheesing this, because this room is kind of horse shit, the lasers do an obscene amount of damage in here.
Destroy the controls on the wall to open the gate.
Raven, do you copy? I can't advance until you've destroyed
Gonna
the controls.
sleep well tonight.
I'm
What
under
did you
attack.
buy? What the
Lock
hell
released.
did you
Moving up.
buy? Ow. What could you possibly have bought?
Raven, I'll destroy the controls here. That should open the gate. Hang in there.
Like every sleepy gummy they had. My sister takes CBD gummies for sleep because they do way more for her than melatonin does. Which I find hilarious. We both inherited the awful sleep disorder gene
The gate should be open.
that apparently is in the family somewhere. We have equally awful sleep.
Raven, open fire.
5 different ones that were for sleep. So I was like, yes, please. Jesus. Oh my God. It's bee hopping, bro. What is happening? The AI is bee hopping. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is it dead? It's not dead? Those explode. Okay, now it's dead. A 1-to-1 TCH CBN? Jesus. I just live with it at this point. I don't take anything for it. I just raw dog it. A B! A B! 8K on ammunition? I barely even use the chain gun. Shit. What's the deal with this huge Disney deal? I do not know. I don't know what the hell Disney is thinking. To just put it how it is, how I see it. Because Epic makes a lot of money, right? But there's only one video game in the history of the industry, okay? Let me drop this knowledge on you, okay? There's one game in the history of the games industry that has had more than $1 billion spent on it. Like in terms of development costs and stuff like that. Do you know what that game is? Who in chat knows it? Because I've mentioned it before. Who in chat? Someone has to know it. I've talked about it before. Who's got it? The trivia. GTA 5? It's not GTA 5. I think GTA 5 was something like 100 million. To put it into perspective for like how much these things cost. GTA 5, I believe, is like only 100 million. Star Citizen, no, not PUBG. Does no one know this? I've talked about it before because it's... I'll give you a hint. It's hilarious. It's something that I've talked about because it's funny. Does that help? Does that give anyone the... what's the word? Something to go on, I guess, is all I mean. All I'm trying to say. Minecraft, no. Gex 2, it's Gex... No. Genshin, no. Free Fire, no. All right. You ready for this, chat? It's the metaverse. It's the only game in the history of the industry to have more than $1 billion invested. It's the metaverse, which currently is sitting somewhere in the ballpark of $15 billion invested, by the way. We just learned in a recent report that in the last year, they spent an additional $9 billion last year in 2023 on the metaverse. After like the $6 billion that they spent in 2022. The metaverse is a game? Yes. That's literally, it's just VR chat, but worse. Sorry, Zuckerberg, but I gotta say it how it is. These are the same damage, just... It's a social platform. It is like classified as a game. That doesn't count as a game? Yeah, it does. It's just a VR game. The industry sees VR chat and the metaverse as games. I wasn't expecting it to go anywhere. What new update? There's a new update? Did they actually do something good? Is this true? Hold on, fill me in. I'm out of the loop on this. What did they do? Cap? They're seen as games. Like Rec Room? It's true that they kind of are just like a social platform. Like, absolutely. But the industry considers them to be games. Did they actually add legs? You guys, why did you not warn me I was overweight? Did it warn me? Did it warn me? Yeah, I see what you mean with them not being games, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of classification, like they are labeled as games, advertised as games. Developers in the space see them as games. After 30 minutes, I haven't touched it. But if we don't consider the metaverse to be a game, there has never been a video game with $1 billion+ invested in it. Like, if we take the metaverse out, it's never been done before. Because games don't cost that much. Quite frankly. They don't cost close to that much. Hold on. I think RDR2 is one of the most expensive now, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to pull up the numbers here. Okay. Genshin Impact is apparently this is okay. I was gonna say this can't actually be development costs, but this is the total amount spent, okay? Meaning advertising is included. So keep that in mind. Genshin Impact is the most expensive outside of the metaverse at 700 million, but that's including their marketing, which quite frankly, I played the game a little bit way back when it came out. Like I've seen it, I know what's in it. That did not cost 700 million. I've seen their marketing, which is insane. That is mostly marketing costs. Yeah, highest dev cost is Star Citizen at a little over 500 million. Which, yeah, Star Citizen. Apparently, Marvel's Spider-Man 3 from Insomniac is already sitting at 385 million in total costs. That's what this list says. I find that incredibly hard to believe, but maybe, I don't know. I don't know how much they're spending. But I can tell you that right under it is Marvel's Spider-Man 2, which only cost $315. So here's what I'm thinking in terms of like not thinking that that's legit, to elaborate a little bit. If Spider-Man 2, which has already been marketed, developed, and released, cost $315, I don't entirely believe that the sequel to that game, which only came out 3 months ago, by the way, is sitting at 385 million invested when it's not even the next game that the studio is releasing. Like, that game, not that we know, but educated guess, probably isn't even in production yet, because the actual main game in production at Insomniac right now is Wolverine. Where are we getting these numbers from? Let me check the citing on it. Here's the article they're citing for it. Let's see. Where is their source on this? Oh. Okay. It's not that much has been spent. It's that the sequel is going to have a total budget of 385. At least that's what they have planned right now, is a total budget of 385 million. But that's coming from the Insomniac leak, so that's actually, unfortunately, pretty legit. Because, I mean, I talked about the Insomniac leak back when that went down. That was like, honestly, one of the shittiest things to happen in the games industry in years. That was an absolute disaster. And genuinely just terrible. Because if you don't know the full story, like, that leak also involved the doxing of like multiple developers and their close family and stuff. That was a shit show. That was just horrible. All the stuff around that. It's why I didn't talk about the leak very much back when it happened. Like, when people were asking about it and I was just like, I don't want to talk about that on my stream. That's why. But yeah, outside of like those few big examples that are up in like 300, 400, 700 range, you immediately get down to like 100 million, for a handful, like for about 10 games here, and then under 100 million. Like, games don't cost that much to produce, is what I'm trying to get at with the Disney thing. I think Disney has just blown this crazy load, like just thrown so much money at Insomniac. Or sorry, Insomniac, I misspoke, at Epic. And I don't know what for. Because again, like it doesn't cost that much. Because also, I've seen some sites misreporting what the deal actually is. Disney did not buy or acquire Epic Games. They invested in a brand deal, a marketing deal essentially, with them to produce gaming content. It's, as far as we know, they haven't even invested in full games. What we know is that they've invested in gaming content, including Fortnite. We don't know what the hell the deal even means yet, publicly. We have no clue. We have no clue. So for now, all that I can really say is that it looks like Disney has wasted obscene amounts of money on this deal, and I have no idea what they've even bought. Like, just from like industry knowledge of being in the industry, studying and everything like that, right? It seems like they have wasted a fuck ton of money for God knows even what. Like, I don't even know what they've exactly paid for, but I can almost guarantee that it's not going to be worth $1.5 billion. It's all speculation and educated guesses right now, but that's how it looks to me. I've got no clue what they're thinking. And what was Bob Iger's statement exactly? He was pretty much just like, I've seen that Gen Z and Gen Alpha really like games, so we should be making games. I think that was pretty much like his statement. And you know, fair enough, he's not wrong. But he kind of just said nothing when asked like why he struck this deal. He was just like, games are popular, so we want to have games. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. I don't think Disney cares what they're buying as long as they own everything. Again, the thing is, they didn't buy Epic Games. They made a deal with Epic, but they did not acquire Epic. They've invested in Epic. They do not own Epic Games. Because Epic, I guarantee you that the original offer was to acquire Epic, but they're smart enough to say, no, we made Fortnite on our own. So we're good. And it got like bumped down to just being a marketing deal, essentially. Or a collaborative deal, whatever it is. We don't know what it is. We know that they didn't buy Epic. They invested in Epic for gaming content. That's all we know. Publicly at the moment.
Energy surge detected. Move fast, Rick.
But definitely, assuming, and it's a pretty safe assumption, that the proposed deal would have been to purchase the company and Epic turned them down. Good on them, because yeah, you have no reason to get bought out by anyone. Like, you made the top earning game, or one of the top earners, not the top. At one point, the top, just not consistently the top, but like consistently a top 5 earner in the entire industry for the last 6 years. You have no reason to sell out the company to anyone.
You've destroyed the controls.
Barely got out of there in time. I know that one was a little
I'm
close.
under attack. Hurry!
Little spooky, admittedly. And didn't even get a stake in Epic. I think they probably got a stake. That's very fair to assume. But we know so little of the deal publicly at this moment that we can't even like definitively say that they did or didn't. So who the hell knows?
Lock released. Moving up.
I just saw so many articles saying that Disney had bought Epic Games when that's not what happened. Like, that was just genuine, straight up misinformation, saying that they had bought the
I'll destroy
company.
the controls here.
Because that was what a lot of the headlines were. And I was just like, that didn't happen. Most likely, with how journalism is nowadays, like in the digital age, it's just someone reported that they had bought the company, and then off of that one bad report, like some other outlet pretty much just yoinked it and ran with it, and then it was just a snowball effect of other outlets just seeing it and running with it, where the more of those articles that are out there saying that that's what happened, the more that are going to see those articles and make their own.
Move up.
Journalism is such a shit show now. With like internet journalism, like online journalism is such a shit show. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, good Lord. No, we're just shooting the big thing and we're leaving. Ah! Works for me. Please stop shooting me. How many of those were AI generated? Who knows? Fortnite's at like 275 million. Yeah, and consider that that's development costs, marketing costs, brand deals to be able to like work out these collaborations, right? Oh, concurrent players? No, it's not. Does it say that? Where does it say? Source. Where does it say that? He's talking players. Where's the source? It's not your fault, but whoever's reporting that is, oh, monthly? Maybe. Monthly. Maybe. But put that into perspective for a second. Because even that, I'm not so sure. Just to put that into perspective. That's how much of the world's population, right? Think about what is the global population right now? Hold on. 8.1 billion. We're just under 8.1. So 8.1, hold on. What percent of 8.1 is 0.275, did you say? Yeah, 275. That would mean that like almost 3.5%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but bear with me. 3.5% of the global population of the entire human race plays Fortnite on a monthly basis. It's one of those things that as soon as I stop to think about it, I'm like, that cannot be. 275 million monthly users? Hold on. Can I get numbers? Human species. Sure, species. That sounds viable. I'm seeing if it is viable. I'm going to grab some data. Hold on. Can I get monthly users on... I can. Okay. Oh no, that's not monthly users. Never mind. Come on, SteamDB, work with me. Work with me here. Can I get monthly active users for Counter-Strike? Which some people might be like, why Counter-Strike? Simple answer. Counter-Strike for the last decade has not stopped being the #1 concurrently played game in the industry. For like 12 years now, Counter-Strike every single day has had the most concurrent players, except for like crazy outliers on like Pal World's launch day. It overlapped it for like an hour. But it's incredibly rare that any game beats the concurrent player count of Counter-Strike. Hold on. Big stretch. I want the monthly users, but I don't know how to get it. The best that I can give you for Counter-Strike is the total owned copies estimation. And even those are different depending on who's reporting it. It's showing me all of them right here. If I just averaged out, it's estimated across the board that 175 million players own Counter-Strike. Not log into it every month, just own it, okay? Let's even round it up and say 200 million, right? Let's just round it. Say 200 million people own Counter-Strike. And for 12 years straight, almost always, it's been the most played game at any moment of any day. For 12 years. But you're telling me that Fortnite right now beats those numbers? Maybe in 2019. Maybe. You're telling me that Fortnite, not beats those numbers. You're telling me that Fortnite has more monthly users than that. Maybe back at its peak. It's possible. But now?
The mainframe computer lies deep within.
The kids don't play Counter-Strike. We have the numbers.
Cover ground faster.
We have the numbers. For 12 years, Ryan, think about this. The home gaming industry is like 40 years old.
Advance with care.
For more than a quarter of the industry's life, this has been the top played game at any moment of any day. Think about it. Think about it. For a moment. We have the numbers on this one at least. Fortnite is a weird one because Epic gives out the numbers, but there's no way to publicly track them outside of what Epic says. Because their API doesn't allow for any public tracking or data logging of it. Which is why I'm always super skeptical of when Epic puts out these huge numbers. I was playing it when it was new because I'm old. CS is just the game that never dies. Like, it feels like Counter-Strike dies because, you know, people across the industry don't really talk about it much. But the numbers are there where, like, every day it is the most played game, like, in the industry. For 12 years straight. Just CSGO. CSGO is, I think, the most popular as well. I don't know. It's dying out of attrition. It's not. It's not. It's not losing users. Hold on. Is it losing users? No. Like, it kind of fluctuates. Here. I'm pulling over this just to show. This is the monthly, like, users data table, right? For CS, because we can track Steam games. Thankfully, the API allows for it. So, like, what happens with CS is that you see a lot of months, and this is tracking just like the peak amount of players online at one time every month. So like when it hits its peak for the month. Concurrent players, right? These are like over 1 million people playing at one given time. Like it's a pretty good pattern of it'll go for a couple months at a time where it's on a downtrend and then it will come back and it cycles. It cycles. It has some big stretches here where these are always compared to the previous month as well. This isn't like an averaged out baseline. This is like, you know, when this goes up by 12%, that increase, that 112% value becomes 100%, and then it goes up by another 13. And that these are compounding values, if people understand statistics. I'm getting into statistics. I'm assuming a lot of people who watch me are big fucking nerds like I am. So there's a fair amount of people who are tracking. Some people I start getting into like compound increases and there's like, okay, you're losing me. I'm out. But the numbers don't lie. CS is not, like, CS is the game that refuses to die. I used to play CS. I think CS is boring as shit because it hasn't changed in like 20 years. I don't enjoy it anymore, but it is the game that just will not die. It refuses to die. It never will, I swear to you. Know nothing of Valve, but know of their games. Remember when Valve made games? The classic? It's true though, man. Why do they not make games anymore? Because Valve still has like some of the greatest games ever in their catalog. Yeah, that's the word I want. For a second I thought it wasn't, but it is.
Energy surge detected. Move fast.
Coming through. CS just isn't fun anymore. It's because it hasn't changed at all. But for some reason, it almost seems like the fact that it hasn't changed at all is kind of why it's the game that refuses to die. In a way, right? Like CS has its thing that it's been doing since like 1.6 and it's been doing the exact same thing.
Destroy the controls.
And it hits the same note every time. And yet it maintains like the largest player base out of the entire industry consistently.
I can't advance.
It's
until
crazy.
you've destroyed the controls.
Because a lot of games, it's like, why are you bored of this game? Oh, it's because they haven't like updated it.
Hurry!
But then there's just Counter-Strike. It's the anomaly, right? Like whenever I talk about being bored with a game, like 9 times out of 10 with live service, I mean, not just like any game, but with live service stuff, I'm almost always gonna say like, oh, they just haven't like added anything in a long time. Like it's gotten stale. But then there's Counter-Strike. Forgetting you can't fast forward the present. The habit is so deeply ingrained.
I'll destroy the
How do I
controls
answer the
here.
poll when I don't know
Catch it
what
up
it's
with me.
asking? Come on, False. You know the generations of Armored Core,
Hang
right?
in there.
You've watched my videos, right? Right? Right, False? I don't. You see the new AC6 patch? Yeah, we played it the other day. We played the day it came out. I didn't plan that either. I just had AC6 scheduled for that day, not knowing that there was a patch coming out. And then when I went to start stream up, I saw that there was a
The
patch.
gate should be open. Move up.
Worked out pretty nicely. AC2 with true analog. AC2 is good. Like AC2, it's weird though, because I always feel like AC2 is good, but it's like, you know, not spectacular in any one category, but it's good at like every category is the thing. Even if it's not the best at any of them, it's good at all of them. Like it's consistently slightly above average, even though it's not like the best or the worst at anything. Like there's no crazy standouts with AC2. It's just, it's solid across the board. Just complained about the changelogs. That was the stream. I didn't complain. I thought the changes were good. Mostly. A couple of them were kind of weird. I'm not doing that mission again. That mission sucks. I'll come back to it. Gen 3 is the most consistently good, but 3.5 is the least consistently good, but has the highest peaks. That's, for me, I would agree. Like, Last Raven out of all the first 3.5 generations is the best game of the bunch. For me, at least, right? But 3.5 also has, like, Nexus, which is just kind of the most mediocre Armored Core game. Like, none of it's bad. Actually, the arena's bad. Like, the missions in the campaign, it's not bad, but it's not good. It's just, it's there. It's there. Ninebreaker is bad, just across the board. Shit game. I said what I said. It's lucky that it has the core like Gen 3.5 gameplay, because if it didn't, I would be so much more ruthless than I already am. Like, Ninebreaker is just genuinely, I don't get it. But then Last Raven is like my favorite old gen Armored Core. It hits the highest peak, but it has some of the lowest lows in 3.5. I think Ninebreaker is the lowest point of the entire franchise. Easily. Gen 3 is consistently good. AC3 is it's great. Silent Line is solid. Pretty good game. Gen 2, it's like Armored Core 2 is great. I really like Armored Core 2.
That's all of them.
I really liked it.
Work, Raven.
Another Age, not so much. Another Age pulls it down. Gen 1, like, all three of them are good, but again, like, none of them are the best at any one thing. They're just kind of all like, yeah, this is good for what it is. It's there. That's only an A? Come on now. Come on now. We can do better. It might just be a speed thing for that one. Nobody would judge you if you skipped Ninebreaker. Maybe one person. We're doing it for the 100% if you mean that, unfortunately. We'll get there when we get there. At this point, Ninebreaker, there's no way that it will be worse than Silent Line to 100%, right? It can't be. This is the game that just refuses to end. I can't seem to complete Silent Line. Every time I think we're getting there, we're not. And yeah, I've also S-ranked DMC2. That's true. That's true. I have the patience of a Zen monk. Everyone knows it. Silent Line is pushing my patience. Genuinely. Silent Line is getting there, and I've got a lot of patience. I'm very, very patient. Silent Line's getting somewhere, man. Ninebreaker, I refuse to. Dude, Last Raven is going to take a while. Absolutely. But, at the very least, it's the Last Raven, right? Like, it's one of the best Armored Core games, like, on the whole. Silent Line, I don't feel like is one of the best Armored Core games. It's good. It's like in the middle, I would say. It's somewhere, like, out of the 16 games, if you've got like the top 5 and then the 5 after that make up the top 10, and then you've got like the 5 bad ones, and then you've got like Ninebreaker at the absolute bottom. Silent Line is like in the top 10, but not in the top 5 for me. What is my top 5? 6 is number 1, then For Answer, then Verdict Day.
That's all of them.
I'm just doing this off the top of my head. My review scores might be a little different, but like
Objective achieved.
off the top of my head, combining the review series experience with the 100% experience so far. This is the list. Like 6 is number 1. That's probably not going to change. For Answer is number 2. Also likely not going to change. Then Verdict Day. Then Last Raven. Number 5 is kind of hard because there's 2 games that I feel like deserve to be up there. It's probably Armored Core 4 at number 5. I want to say it's Armored Core 2. I want to. But even though Armored Core 4 has all those problems that I bitched about in the review, and that I was incredible, and I'm still incredibly vocal about, it is blessed by having the Gen 4 gameplay and just being a game that's really easy to like sit down and play for extended periods of time. So I might just have to give it to 4. And emphasizing that like AC2 would be number 6. It would be right behind it. Right behind it. 4 is genuinely up there just because its core gameplay carries the shit out of it. Where is the enemy? If I just spin in circles. I might need a radar. I'm grabbing a radar. It's home to some mechanics I simply don't like in Armored Core, like the posture system. The thing that's beautiful about the stagger system is that it's so abusable. And I know theory of dominant strategy, like I've talked about it. I never give much leniency with it, with theory of dominant strategy, I mean. I very rarely do. In the video I'm working on right now, you could make the case that one of the biggest things that I'm going to complain about in that video, you know, spoilers, but not really, just the lightest of spoilers, but still, the review I'm working on right now has a big dominant strategy problem. And you could say, just don't engage with these systems or mechanics or whatever. But like, the theory of dominant strategy is like one of the most well-known in gaming because it's one of the most widely applicable and most true theories that we have. Like if there is an apparent easiest way to do something, the vast majority of players are just going to go immediately to that method. It's true. It's more than true. It's insane how consistent that theory is. But with AC6, you can just ignore it. Like I always say with theory of dominant strategy and being like, you can always just not do it, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you can, sorry, phrasing. Rewind, okay. You can't say just don't do it to the majority of players, but when it comes to like hardcore fans of a given franchise, like if we're talking people who have played all the Armored Core games over and over again, for a revisit of 6, it's very easy for someone like that, if it's like your 5th time playing the game,
Nice work, Raven.
to be like, yeah, you could just do a challenge run and never run a melee weapon if you wanted.
Okay.
Or at the very least, just never use melee on a stagger, and you could genuinely make the game so much more difficult for yourself if that's what you want. But for the record, I did factor in how insanely busted the stagger system is once you learn it. Like I did. I think I talked about it in the video, just how insanely powerful it is once you figure out how to abuse it. Like on its own, it doesn't break the game's balance by any means, but once you really understand the system and how to build your AC, you fucking destroy the entire game. Like once you're at that knowledge level, once you've played a couple times and messed around with it, yeah, you're gonna break everything. It's just the way it is. Hold on. There we are. I can finally buy the really expensive back weapon. Just get it out of the way. Like mage builds in Elden Ring or bleed build? Yeah. Like those are super balance breaking. And you could say, just don't use it. But most players are gonna use it anyway, right? Like they just are. Once they know that it's there, yeah. My first playthrough of Elden Ring, I used a bleed build. Only an end game. But do you know what I used before that? I used Moonveil. I did like a magic samurai hybrid build before I found Rivers of Blood. And then I used Rivers of Blood until the end of the game. Last Raven will probably equate to 25% of these Armored Core streams. You think? I don't feel like it will. I think it's gonna be one of the longest. But if I had to place my bets for like the 3 longest games, I would say Silent Line, Last Raven, I would say it's in the top 3, and Verdict Day, maybe.
We're picking something up on radar.
Hello, Lego.
Checking for transponder recognition.
Welcome to, it turns out I do need all the S ranks, actually.
Unable to verify. Commence your attack.
system engaged.
More balanced in older games like 2. Oh man, 2 is busted as shit. I don't think, here's maybe my hot take. And I wish that I had 100%ed more of these games prior to the AC6 review. Like timeline wise, that's just not what happened, but retroactively, like I wish I could have had like the more experience, or I wish I could have had this experience that I have now to elaborate on a little more. All of the Armored Core games, going back to the original, are an absolute balancing nightmare. Like, just fundamentally. They all have crazy balancing problems. I haven't found one of them that doesn't yet. Guess we aren't starting Nexus today? Yeah, probably not, because I had no idea about the S ranks actually being a thing. Because a couple people said that they thought it was, but most people were like, no, it's just the portable part, you're good. But turns out there is also a part in the PS2 version. Absolutely.
Raven, additional targets have been detected.
At least Nexus should be a much easier 100%. I don't know, actually. No one has talked about
They're inside the fortress.
whether it's difficult or not to 100% Nexus. Is anyone with first-hand experience on this? How is Nexus to 100%? Oh, we burned out? Bro. Movement of AC5 and Verdict Day, a man after my own heart. You know why? Because it's got good movement. Dude, everyone in those comments, I swear to you, okay? Let me rant on this one for a quick second. The people who got really pissed at my AC5 video and my Verdict Day video, I swear a bunch of them either just haven't played Gen 5 or they played like an hour of it or 2 and then dropped it. Because so many comments were like, the movement is so slow and clunky and bad. I'm like, what? The movement's so good. Like the game, if you play it like old gen Armored Core, is slower. But once you learn the new mechanics, it plays really fast. Like once you're really in the flow of Gen 5's mechanics, it's very fast paced. It's just got a completely unique learning curve to itself that the rest of the Armored Core games don't have, which I feel like only makes it a little more interesting for me. That it's like that much more unique than everything else. Now, Armored Core 5 specifically has a lot of problems. A lot. And I could go on about them, for sure. But Verdict Day fixes a lot of that. And Verdict Day's pretty fucking sweet. Getting best ranks on Ninebreaker? Yes, unfortunately. I like it even more than the movement in 4 answer. I think I like 4 a little more for just like the pure anime bullshit appeal of it. But I think mechanically, Gen 5's movement definitely has a lot more going on. Like it's a much more active form of movement, I guess.
Hang in there.
Mechanically speaking. There's a much larger skill gap too. Like much larger skill gap in Gen 5's movement. Higher skill floor and ceiling than Gen 4's. And than any other gen, to be honest. Like the minimum required skill with the movement to beat like the harder challenges in the game is a lot higher. And then just that ceiling of how good you can get with it with a bunch of time spent and stuff is also just way higher than the rest of the series.
The enemy is retreating. Thanks for your help.
Objective achieved.
4A was fastest with 1.2 regulation. Really? I played on 1.0 because that's just what the disc I had was on. And FromSoft doesn't have like the patches on their website. Because some old games like that, you will be able to go and download the patches manually, like from the developer or the publisher or whoever. It's just not a thing for Gen 4. Although, didn't RPCS 3 recently add a thing where you can update the game just through the system, through the emulator now? So since I'm emulating for upscaling and stuff, I might be able to play on a newer regulation with patches. And yeah, I thought they added something like that in more recent updates. Although Gen 5 I was never able to get working on, what's it called, on RPCS 3. I had to use the Xbox versions, which was such a pain in the ass. You think we'll ever get a gen with more than one expansion? Probably not. Because the only examples in Armored Core that got more than one expansion are Gen 1 and 3.5. Although there's, not to completely ignore the crowd that exists in the Armored Core community that just views Gen 3 as Gen 3. Like, they say that everything from AC3 through Last Raven is one generation. I think it makes way more sense to split them up into two, because Nexus and onwards changed enough to where it's like, this is its own beast in terms of like design and gameplay and stuff. It's not just the controls either. It's even just like balancing and systems and stuff changes a lot with 3.5. Oh, son of a bitch. Heat system. How could I forget the heat system? I guess that's kind of gameplay, but kind of systems at the same time. But yeah, notoriously, the heat changes that I forgot about until just now, to be honest. Not looking forward to that. Although by the end of Last Raven, I was a lot better at managing heat and building around it as well, like making heat neutral builds and stuff. But Last Raven also brought it into check. Like, they did a lot of balance changes with the frame parts and boosters and radiators and all that in Last Raven. So it might still be a bad time in Nexus. I don't know. I don't. Gen 4 needs some fiddling to get to work in RPCS 3. It's a slideshow on that config. What? Oh, it might be the beef PC. I always, with like 7th gen emulation, it's so hardware dependent right now. And so I've had I meant Gen 5, even Gen 5. Okay, Gen 5 was a lot of work to get it running, but I mean, as you saw in the review series, right? In the footage I have for that, I've got it all running right and at like a locked 60. I did get occasional drops below 60. Not to say it was entirely locked, but like 95% of the time it was at 60 FPS. But that's using Xenia with a 4080. Which obviously is going to make a difference. It's going to factor in a lot, right? Thank God I upgraded my PC in the middle of the review series. Like, I didn't even upgrade it because of Armored Core, specifically. it was just in general, I was like, okay, these new games that are coming out, like I need better hardware at this point. The 1080's not cutting it anymore, you know? But thank God I upgraded like right before, because when I upgraded, I was in the middle of playing Silent Line. So only like a few weeks before I got to like Gen 4 and Gen 5, I upgraded to the 4080 and the i9. Looking back, that timing was great because otherwise it might have been a bit of a disaster. I haven't really thought about that until now, but that was some very lucky timing.
The enemy is retreating. Thanks for your help.
I haven't tried Xenia with 5th gen. Xenia worked, but it took a lot of effort. 4080, my condolences. Yeah. Dude, do you know, to be fair, because YouTube is like a primary source of income for me, the computer's a tax write-off, right? Just to say it how it is, the computer goes on the tax return, in all fairness. But there was like a solid day before I kind of realized, like, wait, it's a write-off anyway. There's not much to be upset about. There was a solid day when they announced like the new line, like the upgraded line of 40s. And the 4080 Super outspecs my GPU and is $500 less than I spent. There was like a solid day that I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like 2 months after I built it. But now I'm kind of chilling because I'm like, you know what? It goes on the tax return anyway. Like it's not even worth being angry about. I can chill. Of the 4000 series past the 60 Ti, I'll use that shitty connector. The connector got fixed very shortly after release, but the connector thing was a disaster. That was a shit show. But only like the very first line of the 40 series had that, you know, self-immolating property, if you will. It still is. It's not. It got fixed out. Because I looked in, I was very worried about buying a 40 series for that reason. But when I was looking into it, everyone was like, no, it got fixed. Like, they don't do that anymore. As long as you buy one that's not like the original line, they don't set on fire like that. The Super doesn't even seem to be more powerful. I think it's like 5% faster, which is a decent bit. Even though they're on the 4th revision. It could be true. Anything that I've seen has said otherwise. It's possible. But certainly from what I've seen, it seems to be fixed out. The third-party cables are being recalled right now. That cable mod? Who's cable mod? Oh, to be fair, I mean, with most GPUs, you're typically not buying it like from NVIDIA. Like I have an Asus version of the 4080. Why the hell did my chat just break? God damn it, I'm gonna have to fix that in a second. My chat just broke. I can't read cable mod recall. I'm curious about this. This is a day ago? This is literally a day ago. Hold on. Oh boy. Recall details. Hold on. It's for an angled adapter. This thing looks funky. Hold on, let me pull it over. And let me try to fix my chat. Here we go. This bad boy, the 90-degree angle connector. The third-party one from, yeah, Cable Mod. Has a recall. As of yesterday. You should stop using the recalled angled adapters. Contact Cable Mod for instructions on how to safely remove their adapter from the GPU. for a full refund, including cost of shipping, or $60 store credit. How much is this? Well, I guess. Does anyone know how much this costs? Does anyone by chance? Oh, here we go. This costs about $40. So the $60 of credit, that's not so bad. 50% profit, right? I mean, 272 reports? That's a lot. When we're talking about 40 series, yeah, $75,000 in property damage claims. Yikes. Big yikes. Ouch. I slept weird, man. My back. 100 better ideas than using the 12+6 connector. Thankfully, mine is all good. And I don't do much disconnecting my GPU. So we should remain fine, probably. I mean, yeah, likely. Just because of the layout, like my GPU doesn't get in the way of anything if I'm swapping, well, unless I swap like a motherboard. I don't really have a reason to take it out unless I'm replacing the GPU itself or the motherboard. Which if I'm replacing the motherboard, I'm probably just building a whole new PC. I'm not... My back stuff started when I was 25. It's just when I sleep on it weird.
It's just been confirmed. Crest is preparing to launch a major assault across the...
It really is that thing when it's... some days I just wake up and I'm like, oh no. You're like, you feel it within a minute of waking up where you're just like, oh, I slept on it wrong. Uh-oh. And then you just feel it for the whole day, like you're an old bitch. Bitch is the word. We'll go with that.
System engaged.
12 needles.
Listen up.
I actually don't remember how many pins my connector is, but I feel like it was more than 12, unless I'm mistaken. It's probably 12 now that I'm thinking about it. Hello? Where are the enemies? I just want, there we go. Them to be in range so that I can start getting shots easy. That hurt a little bit. Please just give me an easy S rank. Please. Only the new 12 pin and older 8 pin. Wait. Pause. Pause. 8 pin? Oh, where you might need multiple 8 pins? Actually, I think that is what mine is. I think it has like one big one and then like 1 or 2 smaller ones. Hold on. I have it next to me. I have a glass cover. I'm not opening it, but I might be able to actually look at it and just see it. My GPU sits a few inches away from me at all times, so I could look. Like a 3x8. I think there's a 12 and then 1 or 2 8 pins, if I remember right. Like now that you're saying that it might be using multiple. I don't know. I got the Asus Tough one. The Tough Gaming. $16 or $24. Yeah, it might be something like that. I'll look at it. Unless anyone just pulls it up before I get this finished. That's the only reason why I said it. Are we done? There's no more. Okay.
Achieved.
How many are you? I have 3 8-pins. That's what it is. I can see them. Yeah, I've got 3 8-pins. That's exactly what I've got. I thought there was a 12, but I'm clearly wrong. It's 3 8-pins. There's this problem with 3 portable, in which the pre-mission cutscene, where it shows the client, doesn't always play fully. Wait, what? That's a strange bug. But you can, hold on, sorry. Can you create your own mech? They're all custom. You can only create your own. No presets in this game. Mine might all be using the same extension and rifle. Ignore that. They're good. Simply. Man, these S ranks. I am upset that I even have to do this. This is a slog, especially for me thinking that I was like at the end. This is a mess. Although I can take a break and like just go and blow through some lightweight missions real quick to get those legs that I don't have yet and stuff like that. There are pre-mades in 6. Yeah, I guess 4 and onwards, they do have the option to use like the NPCs pre-made ones, but in the older games. Oh. A 3x8 adapter to 12+4, or the GPU itself has, that is a good question. Hold on a second. It's whatever the GPU came packaged with. I didn't buy like any additional adapters or anything. It might honestly be easier to just fucking pull up the thing from Asus. Uh-oh. Starter AC is a preset? Yes, but the only people who use the starter AC like the whole way through are psychopaths, because that is way more difficult than it has any reason to be. How does this one compare? I don't think Silent Line is quite as good, but it's only because it's kind of bloated by comparison. It's not that the game is like actively worse. It's just that not all of what they added is necessarily better, if that makes sense. Oh. Haha.
Raven,
Uh-oh.
you've been spotted.
No, I haven't. I leave. Hold on. This thing is...
Entering target area. Commence operation.
God damn it. Okay. Hold on.
System engaged.
What did I pick for the Capcom poll? I'm trying to remember. For the, for like the games I'm interested in sequels of, I think I said RE, DMC, and Dino Crisis were my 3 that I chose. Because I was being honest. I could have just not said RE because it's obviously going to get more sequels anyway. But it's literally my favorite gaming franchise, so I'll throw the extra vote that way. And then for the game I would want to see remade on modern tech, I said Onimusha. That's what I told him. That's what I told Capcom. I've tweeted it just for a little bump. Because I know that I've got a lot of Capcom fans hanging around. For whatever reason, who really knows? I want a new Mega Man game so bad. Go vote! They're literally doing a public poll to gauge interest in franchises for sequels and remakes right now. Yeah, this is officially from Capcom. Quick shortcut there. Description has my Twitter linked. My most recent tweet is a link to the poll. Just go. If you want to share your opinion with Capcom, go. Go. It's going straight to them. Tell them what you want. I mean, we can talk about it here still, but go tell Capcom what you want. Do I want to do the extra part or do I stop now? Can I get an S rank if I just stop now? Would it be better or worse? What the hell is this? Caps. I need the informed opinion here. Do I go and what's the thing? Or what's the term I'm looking for here? You look way different in your Twitter profile. I was fat then, and less facial hair. And maybe shorter hair. Yeah, I kept relatively shorter hair then. I wasn't fat. I think I'm like I was kind of fat. I think I'm like 210 or something in that picture, roughly speaking. Maybe a little less than 210, like maybe 208 or something. I don't know. I was like ballpark like 35, 40 pounds heavier than I am right now in that picture, which is a big difference. Might not sound like something that you visibly see a big difference, but it definitely is. 100% is. Also, follow me on Twitter while you're there. Twitter users. Smile. I don't really use Twitter as much as I used to be honest, but when I do tweet, it's either that I'm promoting a new video or it's something like, hey, Capcom is gathering opinions, so go vote if you want your opinion to be heard. I share helpful things. I mostly talk about the industry. I also, like, I share stuff like when Jim Ryan stepped down from being president of PlayStation. You know, I share updates, news. Definitely lost a lot of weight from that picture, yeah. I wanna, well, simply because I promised Mikkel that I would, I wanna add a few pounds this year of good weight, of muscle. When I was talking about my goals for the year, like 2 months ago, because it was like early December, Mikkel was like, and get huge should be on your list. I was like, okay, fine. I'll add like 5 pounds or something. Sure.
Mileage.
Not necessarily huge, but I'll get bigger. Sure, why not? I just searched the poll online. Need a 1942 remaster because it has the worst theme in any game ever. Bro, I don't know why 1942 was on there. If you're in the middle of voting, you might not have, because it's at the end, relatively, that they ask like the game question. They try to gauge your interest in the company to begin with before they ask about the game that you want to see going forward. But yeah, 1942 is on the list for like game that you would want to see a remaster or remake of. Why? Who? I'm sure some people are voting for 1942, but what? They're kind of just throwing everything on there, I bet. The fact that they have officially acknowledged Dino Crisis and Onimusha in one poll is crazy enough. I think they're just genuinely throwing everything out there to just see what hits at this point. Which, fair enough, not a bad strategy. A solid way of doing it, actually. What's the difference between a remaster and a remake? Oh boy, have you come to the right place. Because if I ever were to write down a list of pet peeves, longtime viewers know, if you've been around in the stream long enough, you know. One of my biggest pet peeves is people not knowing the difference between a remaster, a remake, and a re-release. Drives me
The enemy controls the
fucking
sky.
crazy
Stay on the
when
ground
people
on
mislabel them.
objective.
And my pet peeve is only made worse by actual publishers mislabeling things. That drives me even more crazy. So, easy way to put it, right? If the game is relatively untouched, okay, hold on. If it's the same game with the same assets, but it's running at like a higher frame rate or a higher resolution or whatever, that's just a re-release or a port, right? A port if it's going to a system it's never been on, a re-release if it's just like for updated OS or anything like that. If it's the exact same game, but it has new assets that have been made from scratch, that's a remaster. The problem is when you think you know and you're wrong. Yeah, that is the answer. Or sorry, that is true. It's not just not knowing, it's thinking that you know and saying things that are just wrong. That's what drives me nuts about it. Sorry, remaster is the same game with new assets. So here, let me actually pull up Steam. I can make this so easy. Let's find a re-release, chat. Actually, I know one off the top of my head. Let's go. Quake 2. Boom, right here. What Night Dive did for Quake 2. This is a re-release / port. Re-release for PC, port for consoles. Quake 2. What happened last year with Quake 2 and Quake 1 before that. Sure, some of the lighting is improved and the controls are improved a little bit, but this is same assets, same engine, same gameplay. This is a re-release, right? If you want to get insanely technical, it could maybe be a remaster, but it's a re-release. Quake 2. Example of a remaster. There's actually one great example that comes to mind. Actually, there's a couple that come to mind immediately. Let's go with the big one. Where is Modern Warfare Remastered? I give Activision a lot of shit. They know what a remaster is. It plays the same as the original Call of Duty 4, the original Modern Warfare, but they went in, remade all the assets and visuals in the game from scratch, but they left the code and stuff like that intact. Like core gameplay is the same. It just looks prettier. And they remade the assets from scratch. Some people think that that quantifies a remake. Those people are wrong. If it's the same game but from the ground up, yes. Because it's not so much about how it's made, it's about the experience that the game gives more so, right? It's like I guess the best way to compare that is just genres, where it's like, sure, you could argue that Outlast is survival horror, but anyone who's actually like a fan of survival horror and has played survival horror games will tell you that you're a fucking idiot, and rightfully so, because you're a fucking idiot. Anyway, like you could say that it's a remake, but it's only very technically a remake. Like the actual experience that you get, it's a remaster,
The enemy controls
right?
the sky. Stay on the ground and move to the objective.
A remake is like they fully Like they kind of just took the setting and like the story of the game, but they actually like remade it. Think what Resident Evil does, where you look at like the original Resident Evil 2 to Resident Evil 2 2019. Like that is an extreme case of a remake, but it's a remake. Like it's a really easy example to point to and be like, this is a remake. Even Resident Evil 1's remake is less extreme, but you look at it and it's like they redid all the visuals. They've added a bunch of new items. They added a bunch of new areas. The level design that they did keep intact is remixed and changed up. The Outlast shade. I'm not saying that Outlast is bad in that statement. I'm just saying it's not survival horror. I do think that Outlast is bad, but that's a whole other discussion that I'm not having right now. For clarity's sake, I've certainly talked my shit about Outlast. Not that I haven't.
Failed.
God damn it.
Return to base.
Final Fantasy VII is a remake. That's a good example too.
Mission
That's a very severe remake as well, like Resident Evil 2. Maybe even more severe than Resident Evil 2 in that statement. I don't like Outlast, but yeah, it's just like the genre thing. Or saying that Breath of the Wild or like Tears of the Kingdom are immersive sims just because they have like some very like surface level similarities. Like genres are genres. A remaster's a remaster. You know, like some of these things, if you just go by the pure written definition, are really hard. When it comes to like remaster, remake, they're making a completely different game. Thank you. Thank you. That's what a remake is. If it's a different experience, like if it offers something completely unique to the original, that's a remake. If they've changed like core gameplay, level design, the like core design tenets, that's a remake. They have remade the game using the absolute like skeleton of it, right? Like setting, story, basic genre stuff. That's a remake. A remaster is just going in and giving it new assets but maintaining the gameplay. I'm not talking, I know the story is going all sorts of wacky, but I'm just saying like that is genuinely a really good way to put it, is just like they're making a different game. Like the very, very fundamental stuff is there, but it is a completely unique thing, right? Like that is a very good way to put it. The reason that there's a lot of confusion with remasters and remakes, and even in the industry, the definitions that I use aren't definitions that you will find everywhere. It's because these things are new. It's because if you try to write it down in like a concise sentence, you're not going to be able to perfectly nail it. These things are hard. It's like trying to define a genre, right? Like you can sit here and say like, yeah, survival horror is a horror game with an emphasis on the survival element and like inventory management and stuff. And then some guy in the back is going to be like, so Ark Survival Evolved is a survival horror game? And you're like, I mean, yeah, based on what I just said, it is, but like, no, it's not. You know, like if you try to put it into super literal definitions, a lot of things will be not what they are. Like sometimes there is I say sometimes, a lot of the time there's a lot of give. Like things have to be a little flexible, right? If you just hold it super strictly to the definition on paper, you're gonna get a lot of weird shit to start happening. Especially with genres more than remake and remaster. Both of them are one of those things where like once you've experienced enough of it, like once you've played enough remasters and enough remakes, you start to know the difference just on your own. Like you can just look at something and know. The same with like a genre. Sometimes it really is just enough firsthand experience with it to get like that full understanding of it. Like I couldn't sit here and fully explain to you what a JRPG is and isn't. Because by literal definition, it's just an RPG made in Japan. But JRPG fans know that that's not what it is. And I haven't played enough JRPGs to be able to like completely accurately nail it down and argue what is and isn't. I just haven't.
Reconnaissance complete. Hang on.
A remake is just completely ground up. It's so weird with it. It's really weird with it. Ultimately, I'm in the camp of the process of how it gets made is less important than just what the end product is. But some people are more in the camp of it's how it's made, not what it ultimately becomes. I'm more concerned about like the actual user experience once it's out in the market rather than the internal process of how it was developed, if that makes sense. Dead Space is a remake or a remaster? Dead Space is a remake, but it's super faithful. That's also a thing. Faithful and non-faithful remakes. Like a faithful remake would be like MGS Twin Snakes or Dead Space or even like RE1, where so much of the original is intact, but there's also some stuff that's changed that's like,
Good work, Raven.
you know, very, or sorry, let me rephrase. That has a big effect on how the game actually plays. Because like Dead Space has one-to-one level design in a lot of places, has one-to-one gameplay in a lot of places, but like core systems are overhauled. Level design is changed in a lot of places. There are new areas that were never there. There are areas that were taken out. Boss fights have been completely redesigned from the ground up in certain cases. Dead Space is just a very faithful remake, but it is a remake. It does change enough that, you know, once it gets in the hands of the user, it's not the original Dead Space. It's very close to the original Dead Space compared to a lot of remakes, but it's not the same. Whereas like a just remaster where it's like we put new assets in, like BioShock 1 and 2, those remasters, or like Call of Duty 4's remaster. That's like, if you play the original, you're getting the same game, it just looks worse than the remaster. And I should also emphasize, the definition that I go by is more widely used in the actual like design and dev side of the industry. There are certainly designers and developers that use other definitions, but I do subscribe to the more common one, but you'll find a lot of designers and developers that don't go by the same definitions I do. Because again, like there's no 100% agreed upon definition for it yet, simply because it's new. The industry is too young to have like a complete set in stone definition across the board that everyone shares. Isn't the game industry fun? Isn't it fun being in an industry that's only like 40 years old? Well, home console is like actually only 40 years old. There were home consoles 50 years ago, but they were just putting the arcade games on a little computer. Like actual games being made for the home system and only for the home system is only like 40, 45-ish years old, depending on where you start with that. That's a whole thing. So if I make God of War the exact same, but now Kratos plays like Dante, could it be a remake? Yeah, because that would be a very different game in terms of how it plays. That would be really different. Because, you know, Kratos has like 1 or 2 weapons. Or sorry, God of War 2, I actually can't remember. God of War 2 works the same way, right? Where he has like 2 actual weapons and then just like all the spells, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So he has like 2 weapons and like 4 abilities. No, God of War 2 did have a bunch of weapons, didn't it? Hold on. I think I'm thinking of how God of War 1 was. Hold on. God of War 2 weapons. Maybe it's time for a replay of God of War. It's only been like a year since I did it, but maybe it's time. Okay, yeah, there's hold on. 1, 2, 3. A 6. Spear of Destiny. Oh yeah. Okay, 6 weapons. 6 weapons. Yeah, I was thinking of God of War 1. My bad. God of War 1, but like you played like Dante, would be wild. Would be better. I prefer the original Dead Space to the remake because they fumbled the few aspects like sound design. Sound design was still great in the remake. I'm a big Dead Space fan, by the way. All 3 of them, including the remake, right? Wink wonk. But the sound design, like on its own as a game in the remake, is still phenomenal. But the original Dead Space, I would agree, had better sound design than the remake. For sure. Is there a laser sniper rifle? Or maybe just a laser rifle with a comparable range, even? Doesn't look like there's any, or, hold on. Maybe it's lumped in with the snipers, like the shotguns are, where it's like you've got the shotguns and then the energy shotguns. Hold on. Is there, oh yeah, EN sniper rifle. Booyah, found it. And then we go for the long range FCS, the long boy. Which one was the long boy? I don't remember. I'll just look at, there it is, sight range. 550 so far. Whoa, 1145. I think that's the long boy. Yeah, totally. That's the long boy. Yup.
Raven,
This is the same one I was about to do. I call the PS4 Final Fantasy VII a remaster. I have no idea about it. I do not even know what the hell a Crisis Core is, other than just like a spin-off of Final Fantasy VII. This thing has 8 shots. 8 shots. Thank you, FromSoft. Eight bullets for a sniper rifle. I don't care how much damage that shit deals. Okay, it deals 2,200 damage. Maybe it's fair. Now that I've seen the damage, okay, I might be a little more calm about it now. Because for a second I was like, what the actual hell? But it deals 2,200 damage a shot. So maybe this one can slide. I guess I'm just using, this is the only energy sniper in the game. So I guess we're just gonna have to go. Can I see, oh yeah, ammo price. Very important factor here. One of these, this one has more ammo, and that's the difference. Yep. They changed the combat style to the Final Fantasy VII Remake though. Did the original Crisis Core use turn-based and the remake doesn't? I say remake only because I don't know shit about it. For the record, like I said, I don't even know what the hell a Crisis Core is other than a spin-off of 7. But I've heard everyone call it a remake.
This is Alpha Leader. Target area in...
Combat system engaged.
Okay. Oh, behind me. Fun. Son of a bitch. Behind me again.
The transport is on final approach. Stay alert.
God damn you.
This is Skyguard. We're touching down now. Let's keep this short.
Thought the OG was turn-based. Apparently not. God damn it. Changing direction, bitches.
Enemy reinforcements detected.
Oh, it's the little roly boys. Chat, don't look at where I'm shooting. All right, it's probably just best not to. Wow, this is hard to use up close. Who would have thought that lockbox? It's a little trickier. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That adds a bit of difficulty, for sure. Oh, they change direction so frequently. Oh, this is bad. Son of a... Oh my. Oh, and there's more. I'm going to run out of bullets. Why are you guys shooting me? Okay, I spent a lot of money. I don't know about this rank right now. It seems a little rough.
The transport is clear.
Music is great.
Mission complete. Combat system disengaged.
Really just in a gray area. Again, I don't really, and most people don't go by the like dev process strictly. It's typically more about like how the game comes out as an end product, and I just don't know the game. I just don't know the game. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe just the normal loadout. This boy. Hold on. Maybe we bring the tank anyway. We just say fuck it. Reunion instead of remake or remaster. Sure, reunion works. Why not? My turn speed may be slow. My lock distance might not be great. But man, am I gonna spend way less money. I might have just overthought it the first time, genuinely. I'm just so like hard-coded to bring the sniper for the airport missions because it's almost always the way.
The transport is on final approach. Stay alert.
When seemingly this was the move the whole time. Oh my god, it's called Crisis Core Reunion. Are you shitting me? That was the joke. Did you like the stream? Did you like the stream? Oh, okay. You're safe then. You're safe then. Puns like that do not go unpunished typically. As soon as I knew it was a pun. What are you shooting at? It's not me. There's nothing there. All three of you just shot straight at the ground. Also, reminder, we're playing Tekken 8 on Sunday. Normal stream. I'll put up like a community post about it. It's just been a plan for a while. It's not going to be the entire stream, for the record, because I do want to do some character episodes and ranked as well. But we'll be doing it. Just asked us to take Capcom's survey. Take the survey. Vote for Onimusha remake. Or, you know, whatever else you might want. But in my opinion, you should be voting for an Onimusha remake. And a Dino Crisis sequel as well, for the record. Imagine if they made a new Dino Crisis game today. Think about it. Think about it. Like, think about, you know, Dino Crisis back in the day, gameplay-wise, it was just an RE clone, right? With dinosaurs. So think about modern day RE clone with dinosaurs. Thank you very mucho. I have now sold you on the idea, I'm sure. Just a modern RE game, but you fight dinosaurs. You're welcome. The bastards need to make a new Dino Crisis. Could barely run at 40 on lowest settings. Yeah, my buddy had some issues getting it to run optimally for him. I'm sorry, where is the transport? Does anyone know? Anyone know where the thing is? Oh, there, you decided to show up. Oh. We all saw that. That's embarrassing for them. It's one way to fail a mission. Oh, another one did it.
Enemy reinforcements detected.
God, these little shits. Did you not blow that up? Thank you. I appreciate it. Pretty sure. Like 2,000 PC. Wait. Huh? Oh, out of like 2,000? I don't know what the scale is. I don't remember what it gave me, actually. Dino Crisis or Oni. Those would all be so hype at like a reveal. Granted, you know, of course, like anything that they greenlight now based on this poll would, you know, not get revealed until like 2026. is kind of the sad part about it. So we won't know what comes of this poll until like 3 years from now. And even then, who's gonna be sitting here and like, you guys remember when they ran that poll? Whatever, did they do anything with that? Like, we're not even gonna remember by then.
Complete.
But maybe someday this poll can lead to Onimusha remake or new Dino Crisis or whatever. I've seen up to like 1700. I remember my score being pretty high, like definitely somewhere around that.
Thanks, Raven.
The transport is clear.
Oh, you know what was also really funny about when I started playing Tekken 8 though, chat? When it first came out, like the night before, I was like making sure it would run and everything for stream the next day. And it was crashing on launch. And do you guys know what I had to do to fix it crashing on launch? I don't know if maybe I could undo this now, but I actually had to underclock my CPU. The error that it was giving me, because it's an Unreal game, so it's really easy to look up the error codes for Unreal stuff. The error that I was getting that was leading to crashes on startup was from my CPU. Like it was running too fast before the game could like stabilize. So I had to turn down my maximum CPU output to even get the game to be able to open properly. I had to nerf my CPU to be able to launch Tekken 8. So my score was all right when it was like benchmarking, the benchmark score that it gives. But yes, imagine how fun it would be to like the video. You're right, False. It would be pretty fun. This part was specifically selected to correspond with your AC setup preferences. My ass. It's a leg part. Tank legs, tank legs. It is for preferences, never mind. It's tank legs. I thought that was like from enough Kisaragi missions. We're at 94. That got us 94%. We got the unlockable tank legs. This is a good thing. We're making progress again. What a shit show needing to S rank everything now is. So with needing that, we've got one left in zone 1 that I didn't do. Zone 2, I think we completely cleared out. Yeah, it does look satisfying to have. You can't even see like half of them behind my camera, but it's nice to have the wall of S ranks. So 5, 9, 12, 14, 17 missions need to be S ranked before I can be finally rid of Silent Line. Which is rough. Hurts a little bit because I thought we were going to be done today before I found out that we were missing like 7% at the end of it. Hurts a little bit, but does mean I might be able to buy every weapon in the shop before we're done. It does mean that. Although there's a lot of right arm weapons in this game, like a lot. Like holy shit. So who knows? But I think with the amount of attempts that this is going to take, and we haven't gotten the lightweight legs. We did not get those yet, but progress. We need to get the S ranks. Like I'm prioritizing those because those are more painful. The leg parts are literally just like complete enough missions using this type of leg. So genuinely to get those, once I've got all the S ranks, which is going to be much more painful to do, it's just like, okay, equip lightweight legs and just like run 10 missions really fast. Like short missions, just grind through them as quick as possible, speed run them, get the legs, move on. Hover legs, I probably don't have because I never use them. Reverse joints, I don't think I've used like at all in Silent Line. So we probably need those. But using the tanks for getting the S ranks easily, and then we can get the individual leg types, and then we should be good as far as I know. But it is about that time, and I want dinner. I think I'm gonna order a pizza because I found out earlier today for my Americans in chat, at least, it's National Pizza Day. If you didn't know, now you know. National Pizza Day. So I think I'm gonna order a pizza for dinner and devour it, likely. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy and you haven't done so already, feel free to go ahead and leave a sub. Come back another time. We're doing this. We're doing the Ace Combat games on the hardest difficulty, which we might be doing tomorrow. Just saying. Wink wonk. We're doing DMC games on the hardest difficulty. Or sorry, not on the hardest difficulty. DMC games, S ranks. We're doing Metal Gear 100%. On Sunday, we're playing Tekken 8 ranked character episodes, etc. And doing an open lobby. If there's enough people, we'll do tournament brackets just with people from chat. It'll be a good time. If not, we'll just run 1v1s in the lobby. We can do King of the Hill, whatever. Who knows? Anyway. Like stream, blah, blah, blah. Ace Combat reviews are pinned in the message above if you haven't seen them. We're through Ace Combat X. Ace Combat 6 is coming up soon. Get caught up on those if you haven't already, if they interest you. Trying to think. Description has things like Twitter, Discord server, whatever, if you're looking for them. Other than that, once again, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you for coming to the stream. Hope to see you always back here next time. And goodbye.